Set to keep our mobile phones on silent, right? So please switch it off or keep it on silent in case it's not on silent. And for any assistance during the event, we have our volunteers. You can see they are wearing these badges, so you can ask them. Fine. Okay, so we are going to start the event, and we will start with the pranam mantra. And if, if you may chant any other mantra also within your heart, fine. So we can fold our hands and close our eyes, and we will start. Om Namah Shri Yatirajaya Vivekananda Suraya Satchit Sukha Swarupaya Swami Neta Paharine. So we are elated to gather here today at Ramakrishna Mission Vivekananda Institute of Values, Gurugram, in the blessed presence of the Holy Trinity, Revered Swami Shantatmanand Ji Maharaj and Revered Swami Sarvapriyananda Ji Maharaj. And of course, our devotees, our young friends, our volunteers, namaste to all. On behalf of Ramakrishna Mission, Vivekananda Institute of Values, Gurugram, I, Harshit Soni, am honored to welcome you all to this Youth Convention 2024. Today, the theme of our convention, as you all know, is Vedanta and positive psychology, and how it can be helpful for the youth in their day-to-day lives, be it in their relationships, careers, education, and so on. So, without further ado, I would like to request Revered Swami Shantatmanand Ji Maharaj, Secretary of Ramakrishna Mission, Vivekananda Institute of Values, to kindly commence the day with his blessings. Before Maharaji does that, a little brief about him. Swami Shantatmanand Ji Maharaj is a senior monk of the Ramakrishna order and is well-known administrator and spiritual mentor. He has been closely associated with the development of insightful programs on value education based on man-making and character building ideas of Swami Vivekananda. Under his visionary leadership, the Ramakrishna Mission Vivekananda Institute of Values, Gurugram, has been implementing many
परतत्वे सदालीनो रामकृष्ण समाज्ञया यो धर्म स्थापनतो वीरेशंतम नमामि. Very dear Swami Sarvapriyananda ji and the assembled youths here. It's a wonderful occasion, as I was briefly telling you a few moments ago. Please make use of this very rare opportunity which has come your way. So many wanted to register, we couldn't accommodate the request. So make the best use of this opportunity and go back really enriched with a clear direction for your life, how to go ahead, what to do. Swamiji had a great faith in the youth of our nation. He said, my faith is in the youngsters and they will work out my ideas like lions. So obviously, there is so much for all of you to do. He had a dream. Swami Vivekananda had a dream about our nation. In fact, if you divide his life into two parts, till his going to the best was one, and the rest of his life, say from 1893 onwards up to 1902, 9 years, the one thought, one theme that dominated him, completely possessed him day and night, was Mother India. So really, he burned himself out in his efforts to regenerate our nation, awaken the youth, etc. But when Swami says that he has so much faith in you, he wants all of you to do something for the nation and all that, does it mean that all your personal goals, ambitions, etc. have all to be cast aside? No. Integrate all that. And we have always seen, if you look at the history of the world, and also if you really examine the lives of the people who have made it big and so on, only those who have a larger vision. See, my growth, my future, my ambition, in the light of something greater. Supposing someone wants to be a great sportsman, Only he is also possessed by the idea, I am going to represent the country. The national flag of our nation is going to fly high when I win a medal in the Olympic or somewhere. They don't make it very big. So it's not only our ambition for our individual growth, our individual development, etc. Always in the background, there should be a larger vision, larger goal. Because you see, people who have thought only about themselves have become extremely rich and so on. They are leading a very miserable life, fighting for more money, more wealth, more riches, more, and so on and so forth. Endlessly, they are at a very disturbed state of mind. No. So when you aspire for something, remember that what is the larger background, larger vision I can have, in which I can integrate my own uh, aspirations, my own ambitions, my own ideas of growing and all that. This is very, very important. Otherwise, you will never be a success that way. And all this, the country also is really progressing fast. They're going marching quite very fast ahead in terms of you talk about any dimension, several fields. We today talk about startup, Atmanirbhar Bharat, and so on. All that at the root of all that, it's a tremendous self-belief or Atma Shraddha. If this is not there, all opportunities may be given to you, nothing will work. So most important is a tremendous sense of self-belief or Atma Shraddha, which Swami Vivekananda said is a foundation of all education. You see, education should really instill a sense of tremendous self-belief or Atma Shraddha in students. It was so important, he said. Of course, Maharaj would give you even the very background of this Atma Shraddha, why it is, how it is looked at, how it is accessed, how it is understood, all that you would go in great detail. But essentially, this tremendous sense of self-belief and Atmashta is so necessary for all of us if we really want to progress, go on in life, improve, and so on and so forth. So, this tremendous self-belief combined with a larger vision of life itself, I will do well, I will do all that, but all in the light of a larger understanding, larger vision, and enlarged goal, etc. That's what would make the life of each one of you extremely important and extremely valuable. Of course, we cannot exactly take all those examples and match them with our own lives and so on, but as an idea, we want to look at, we will not go that far. For example, even if you take the case of Mahatma Gandhi, he would have been he was a very successful barrister, educated in London and so on. He would have made millions as a great lawyer. He gave up all that. He led, he led such a simple life. But then today, perhaps one of the most admired personalities all over the world for hundreds of years, that kind of a personality is today. So it may not be to that extent, but at least somewhere you must have an enlarged vision, a view of life itself. Within that should be accommodated your own great goal, ambition. Then only you will find that there's a tremendous meaning, purpose, because all these aspirations, all these ideas would also bring a lot of difficulties, problems, disappointments, failures, and so on and so forth. When you place all these in the context of a larger background, all these are all beautifully understood and accommodated. If they are purely limited to one's own individual life alone, quite often people find it extremely difficult to overcome, and that's why we find suicides and depressions and so on. If there is a larger vision, failures, difficulties, etc., can all be understood, accommodated. You can really work your way through further point and so on. So please remember, I think this much is my introductory remarks. I would like Maharaj to take over because there's quite a lot to share with all of you. And of course, once it's over, we'll have a very interesting question and answer session also. Maharaj needs no introduction. He is known all over the world, and we are quite fortunate. In fact, some of our own centers are complaining. How is it that you are completely captured and kept Maharaj there only? Because he has refused many other invitations from other parts of India. how is it that you are able to get in for so long and you're doing so many programs? So somehow we are very, very lucky and fortunate to have you with us. So that's why that is my best use of Mana's presence here. Yeah, now
Okay, thank you so much, Maharaji, for your wonderful wisdom and words. So, before going further in this session, I have some questions to ask all of you. Okay, so whatsoever is there in your heart, just speak it out. What are we expecting from this session? Right? कुछ है, कुछ सोचा होगा, कुछ दिल में होगा. Apart from seeing Maharaji, of course, is there? Yes, I know this reason that you all have gathered to see him. Apart from that, I am asking, is there anything in your heart that what are we expecting from this session or from this theme, Vedanta and positive psychology? So, some of you would like to share. I will come down. Yes, sir. So, please raise your hands and share freely.
just raise your hand and you know.
Two sides. Yeah, be very brief, because
Namaskar everyone. So, firstly, I express my heartfelt gratitude. What I'm expecting. So, I'm from Jaisalmer, district of Rajasthan, and I came here to study, and I was facing a lot of crisis in terms of homesickness. And Swamiji's videos got me through, and they were my relief. So, I have come here to sort of seek some relief to my questions, my emotional turmoil, and I think I will get them. That's what I'm expecting. Thank you.
Okay, so it's emotional turmoil.
anybody
And yes, anyone else?
Raise your hand.
There.
Pranam Maharaj. What I'm expecting from today's lecture is Swami Vivekananda's vision for the youth, and especially to bridge the gap between spirituality and the material world as a youth. How do we not run away into the forest, or how do we not get completely trapped into the worldly desires? So, how do we be the best of both?
Anyone else? Anything in their hearts? Yes.
Yes.
Please speak.
Ali.
No, say somebody, please accept my note. I have three specific questions regarding what I want to ask you. Like, first of it is neuroticity. Like, there are some situations like right now my heart is very much hot. So I do want some answers regarding neuroticity, like how do we should sustain a peaceful life and remember that I am not this limited body mind complex and I am pure Atman. Second question is I like since I faced a lot of failure, probably I should not say that loud here, but I have a sabotaging mind belief system. So, second question is regarding to that, and third question is kind of very specific, and it is regarding like I want to know some Hindi bhajans because I'm from Rajasthan, Bikaner, so some bhajans regarding most of our missions bhajans are in Bengali, so they are very beautiful in listening, but I can't really, if you're getting what I'm saying there, recite them. So, bhajans regarding Viveka and Vairagya and discernment in Hindi. So, thank you. Okay. Anyone related to this theme, Vedanta and positive psychology?
Yeah. Pranam Swaraji, and thank you so much for being here with us. Uh, Today's session, I think, will be an explanation of the statement of Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa when Swamiji asked him that I want to go in Himalayas and have mystical samadhi. So, Thakur told him that you should not think like that, but you should be a person under whom it's a vast stream and under whom many millions of people can take shelter. So I think how Vedanta will help us and how we can take shelter under the vast tree of Swami Vivekananda. I think we'll get to hear about that.
Right. Yeah, front row, sir.
have this question that since I'm professionally progressing and I have my spiritual progressions as well, but if I'm like in this world where there's a lot of unfair practices being happening and there are people are progressing, and when I see others progressing using the unfair practices, how do I not get distracted and keep my integrity and we have patience? Because in this world, everything like you can order everything by click and we get everything like instant gratification is there. So how do we develop patience? How do we develop integrity? How do we develop the perseverance to stay on the right track and still achieve your missions?
Yeah.
Hello, Sanjay. Today I would like to know about how to strike the balance between dispassion and also extremely being ambitious. And also, if we are going on a path of materialism, how to stay away from ego, jealousy, competition that is natural to arise during that journey. Thank you.
Okay, one more.
To end that want of more and more motivation, no matter how down I might feel, to keep on moving without feeling the strain of burnout, and to give my 100% with utmost consistency. How can I maintain that equilibrium of balance in life?
Thank you, everyone. Gentlemen. I'll go to the question.
Ram Swami, so my expectation from the session is if I can use your wise words to create some actionable points to make the best use of this life. I have a pretty simple expectation.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you everyone for sharing your expectations. So now, with not any further ado, the much awaited moment. So I'm privileged to invite our key speaker of the convention, Reverend Swami Sarvapriyananda ji Maharaj. Before Maharaj ji starts, a little brief about him. So we all know, Swami Sarvapriyananda ji Maharaj is the current minister in charge of Vedanta Society of New York, a position that he has been serving since 2017. He was an acharya of the monastic professionals training at Gurugram and served in various capacities in different educational institutes in the Ramakrishna mission. Prior to New York, he was the assistant minister of the Vedanta Society of Southern California. His discourses on Vedanta in a much simplified manner has benefited most of us in many ways, and we are fortunate to hear from him today. So we welcome Maharaji. Over to you.
Om Namah Shri Vinayaya Vivekananda Surai Satchit Sukha Swarupaya Swami Vivek Swami Shantatmanji Maharaj. Dear friends, I'm very thankful to Vivek Maharaj for organizing this whole trip, which I've come. In fact, this is my third trip to India this year, which is, I think, unique. I've never done this earlier. So, we had an entirely spirituality-oriented retreat in the Himalayas a week ago, which was for mostly for devotees, for older people. We have this retreat here now, which is of a different nature. They're all young people, and I heard that unfortunately a big contingent of school students were coming. They got caught up in traffic, so they'll be arriving a little later, kept seats for them. Swami Vivekananda, his interpretation teachings of Vedanta and positive psychology. What is this positive psychology? Why am I relating it to Vedanta? What good can come out of it? That's what we'll talk about today. Listen carefully, and if you've got any questions, you already have come with some questions. So those questions again you can bring up after the talk, and we'll interact. Or if you get new questions during the talk, so those questions also just keep it in mind or write it down. Don't forget. All right. Swami Vivekananda gave great emphasis on strength. He said that don't take a video. Yeah, just listen. Back to Swami. Sometimes video करके they will upload it. So don't record it. It's distracting. You get distracted also. So he gave great emphasis on strength. He says that take whatever makes you strong, take it as nectar. Whatever makes you weak, reject it as poison. He would say that. He said, in fact, many of the problems in our life are due to lack of strength. Strength could be physical strength, it could be emotional strength, it could be intellectual strength, and ultimately ethical, moral strength, spiritual strength. I was just thinking, how does one become strong in life? Face the problems of life. Even if one wants peace, I remember I was once talking to this Brahmachari Maharaj in Belur Math in our monastery near Calcutta, and he was looking a little depressed. I asked him, "What do you want? Aap kya chahte hain?" And he said, "Shanti, I want peace." Now, Vivekananda says you cannot get peace by chasing peace. आप शांति भी चाहते हैं, you need strength for that. If you just want peace, the world will not give you peace. Your own body and mind will not give you peace. But if you have strength, physical, psychological, moral strength, then you can get peace. It's the strong who have peace. I was thinking, what is necessary for strength from Vivekananda's teachings? I have found three areas which I want to speak about and relate it to positive psychology. One area is the first one, is what Swami Sarvapriyananda was just talking about a little while ago. Jo self-confidence. What was the Hindi use? Atma Shabda. So Atma Shabda, belief in oneself. Belief in oneself. Swami Vivekananda gave great stress on that. So I'll talk about that a little bit related to positive psychology, see what we can learn and take away from that. And then I will, yeah, so is this the group from the ABJ school? Good, welcome to all of you. Or from the university, okay, not school kids. University, good. Good, you made it. Just in time. Settle down, relax. You haven't, you have come in at the last possible instant, but let's see, we'll take it from here. The second thing I will speak about, confidence is important, of course. But after confidence, one must have the power to do something with that confidence. I'm very confident, but I don't know anything, I can't do anything, but kya hoga? So power comes from concentration, focus. And modern psychology, positive psychology has a lot to say about that. There are a lot of studies there which we can take advantage of. We're going to talk about that a little bit and how we can practically use it in our lives. And finally, something that Vivekananda said again and again, that is, don't live just for yourself. Maharaj was just saying, his famous saying, those who live for themselves are more dead than alive. So to really live, there must be some component in our lives of living for a larger cause, living for that many others will benefit from our life. So these are the three areas I'll speak about, and then we can talk. Okay. So I will follow this. I'll just speak for about 45 minutes, 1 hour, and then we can take it because they got ahead of time. So what is this positive psychology? How does it relate to Vedanta? ये ऐसा है कि psychology, मनोविज्ञान, a kind of thought came to psychologists that what is psychology useful for? मनोविज्ञान किस काम का है हम लोगों का? What is the practical use? Yes, if I've got some mental issues, mental illness, people are suffering from depression, anxiety, unhappiness, and actual more serious mental illnesses, psychology, psychiatry can be of great help. There's no doubt about it. But in fact, another interesting thing is recently, about just a few months ago, I was invited by the top body of psychiatrists in USA. आप जानते हो कि नहीं पता नहीं हमें, but the USA has the largest number of psychiatrists per capita in the world. That should say something. पागलों को नहीं say but it's called the American Psychiatry Association, APA. And they called me and many other religious leaders for a conference of religious leaders and psychiatrists. So they don't say religious leaders, they say faith leaders and psychiatrists. Their headquarters is in Washington DC. So I went to Washington DC. Now I didn't know that there are two bodies called APA, American Psychology Association, American Psychiatry Association. Both are called APA, and both hate each other, and, and both of their headquarters are next to each other. Like at first I got confused. आपको psychologist or psychiatrist के बारे में पता है ना? Yes. Yeah, some of you know it. Can you tell me? So you can tell me. Yes. And psychology. So what she said. What's your name? Fania. So what Fania said is that psychiatry and psychology. The difference is psychiatry is related to the medical field. So they have to be doctors or trained in some kind of have a degree in medicine. So you're allowed to treat patients. Psychology is more an academic field. तो आपको यूनिवर्सिटी में पढ़ाया जाता है. Not that they cannot treat, they can help, they can be more like a counselor, but they generally cannot prescribe medicines and be part of a hospital. They can come in as outside consultants. But psychology is a broader, bigger field because you can have psychologists in university, you can have them in schools, you can have them in corporations, everywhere. And so I went. Finally, I landed up at the correct APA headquarters. It was very interesting. In the conference, on one side were leaders of various churches, synagogues, imams from Islam, so there were Buddhist teachers, and I was there representing Hinduism. And the psychiatrist said that the problem is so much, especially has increased so much after COVID, in our country also, USA also, in our country, all over the world, that they are unable to cope with it. Even with the largest number of psychiatrists, they say we have a shortfall of 30,000 psychiatrists. We need 30,000, 40,000 more psychiatrists, minimum. So what help we can get from faith leaders? They say that often we see that psychiatric illness goes along with loss of spirituality. Those who have no spirituality in their lives, they either get more psychiatric illness, or if they get psychiatric illness, they are unable to recover from it easily. But those who have some connection with spirituality, whichever religion, if got some connection with spirituality, they either have less, zero to near, they can less illness, and even if they have it, they're more resilient. They can cope with it and come out of it much more easily. So there is absolutely there's a need to collaborate between spirituality and psychiatry. Remember, these are the same people who are completely against spirituality. Until recently, psychiatrists would treat spirituality as mental illness, the pagal. If you become interested in religion, they will say that this person has gone crazy. But now they have changed their approach. Somebody asked them, "So, are you believing in God now?" You started believing in God, religion. They said, "No, it's not that we believe in religion or spirituality, but you cannot." They said, "You cannot argue with the data. See, the data shows those who have spirituality in their lives are mentally far better off, on the average." Now, among psychologists, there came this thought that why should psychology be only useful for illness? Why not for normal people? The comparison is that medicine is useful when we are sick and it makes us normal. It cures us, makes us healthy. But suppose you are healthy. For example, there is something called sports medicine. They're very healthy people, but the medicines make there to help them to perform even better. So if I am normal, I don't have any illness as such, but can psychology help me make my life better? So the day-to-day problems we face, someone said emotional turmoil, someone said the meaningless purpose of life, how can I make my life meaningful and purposeful? These things, can psychology help us? And this led to the development of positive psychology. This is a new, those who study psychology, if psychology is your subject, you will be aware of this. This was not there 20 years ago. Now it has been introduced in college and university syllabus across the world, everywhere. And it's very, very popular. At Harvard University, at Yale University, it is the courses on happiness which draw the maximum number of students. So you see, sometimes graduate classes, 10, 20 people might be there in the class. But some of these professors who teach positive psychology courses, Whole auditorium is full for regular class. For regular class, 200 students, 300, 400 students turn up. So people are really, they want to know how psychology can make my life better, my life right now. So the father of modern positive psychology is said to be Martin Seligman in some way. He spent a lot of his time, an American psychologist, spent a lot of his time investigating happiness. How can we be happier? Can psychology help us to make us happier? And at one time he was the president of APA, not the Psychiatry Association, the Psychology Association, American Psychology Association. He was the president, and he pushed this positive psychology. And that's why positive psychology today is a very well-known, regarded and a popular branch of psychology. So we will take something from positive psychology, something from Swamiji, and put it together, and let's see where it takes us. First of all, Swami Vivekananda's emphasis on confidence in yourself, faith in yourself. His famous quote, which we quote often: the old religion said, "He who does not believe in God is an atheist." New religion says, "He who does not believe in oneself, in your own self, that person is an atheist." जो ईश्वर विश्वास नहीं करता है वो नास्तिक है. We have heard this. जो अपने आप पे विश्वास नहीं करता है वह नास्तिक. This connection between faith in yourself and faith in God, what is the connection? Sometimes I was puzzled actually. Many years ago, I read a quote from Mahatma Gandhi. He emphasized faith in God, but he said only those who have faith in themselves can truly have faith in God. जो अपने आप पर विश्वास नहीं करता है, and they think that I have faith in God, when the crisis comes, वो भी हिल जाएगा. It's only those who have faith in themselves can truly have faith in God. That solved my, answered my question. That solved my problem. What is the relationship between faith in yourself and faith in God? So first and foremost, even before faith in God, faith in yourself and faith in yourself. Bhagavad Gita, the first teaching that Krishna gives Arjuna, not about Atma, Vedanta, वो सब बाद में आया. First thing he says, Shudram Hridaya Daurbalyam, Tektvo Tishta Parantapa. Where has this weakness come upon you? Give up this weakness and stand up. Unless that attitude is there, even Vedanta, spirituality, religion, कुछ काम नहीं करेगा. One sadhu I had met many years ago, यहीं हरिद्वार में, कंखल में. He said something interesting. वो गांव के थे, from UP, elderly Swami. He said, हमारे गांव के जो the farmers in the village, वो जानते हैं एक चीज जानते हैं, they know one thing, that जो नया बछड़ा होता है, if they're unable to stand, the farmer, the कृषक है वो जानता है कि जो बछड़ा, the calf which is struggling to stand up, if you help that, it will stand up. जो खुद कोशिश नहीं कर रहा है, they know that this one will die. So वो बछड़ा जो अपने आप खड़ा, ये interesting psychology, अपने आप खड़ा नहीं हो सकती है, but you needs help from the farmer. But if it tries, it will stand with the help of the farmer, with the help of its mother. But the one which does not try might be sick, does not try. Even if you try to make it stand, it will not stand. It will die. So this self-confidence first. Please, self-confidence क्या है, कैसे आता है? Without self-confidence, nothing will work. Somebody said we are sabotaging ourselves. I really think that's what we often do. We have enough capacity, time, energy, talent, enough to make much more of our lives than we are. I remember this management consultant. He came to VIVA-Vivekananda, our school where I was there for a few years. Deoghar is now in Jharkhand. In those days, it was in Bihar. It's a very nice school. And this management consultant, I've forgotten his name now. He had come, it's famous for a Shiva temple, Baidyanath Dham. So he had come for doing puja in the Shiva temple, but he came to the school and we said, "Sir, can you say something to our class and students?" And he had just 5 minutes or 10 minutes before he had to go away to catch a train. So 10 minutes that day, which is nearly 30 years ago. I still remember it clearly. And I'll tell you today, and you will never forget in your whole life. Not even 10 minutes. He said for less than 5 minutes, he spoke to the students. he said, Rico, I'm going to tell you to do something and you must do it. Please cooperate with me and do it right now. So, you ready? This is exactly what he did. We must do it. Yes. So you have to raise your hand and raise it higher. Okay, put your hands down. That's all. Raise your hand, raise it higher. And then he said, notice, when I asked you to raise your hands, you raised your hand. And when I asked you to raise your hands higher, you raised your hands higher. Meaning, in the first time, you did not raise it to the maximum capacity you could. And this tells us something about human psychology. That we always underperform. We are always doing less than we can do. In every area. Then next he said, head, heart and hand from Swami Vivekananda. From now on, make it an effort, that make it a practice every day, little by little. I will make a little change. How much change from here to this one? In head, in the students, class 10 students, in your studies, you know better than the teacher, better than your parents, where you are doing less. Hindi maybe you are talking there. Kaha phaki hai. So you know that better. You will do a little improvement, not a major improvement, little improvement. This, those who are studying management, is quality management. They, Kaizen, this old but very successful Japanese philosophy of improvement. तो वो क्या करते हैं? There is quality circles and all. Those who are studying quality management, you know that. What they do is, in order to improve our organization, our family, the factory, our own lives, instead of making a big change, they say much better is a small change. But continuous small changes. So आज हम लोग बैठ के सोचेंगे, this is what is happening in the classroom or in the boardroom, in the corporate office. One little change, what can I make? Little change, very small change. It could be a cleanliness change, it could be something in the paperwork, it could be something in the procedure, something to make a change. Small change. But you have to make another change tomorrow or maybe next week and hold on to those changes. Small change you can hold on to. Big change may not be sustainable. जैसे कोई सुबह सुबह उठना चाहता है, you all are convinced that it's good to get up early in the morning. Now you say, when do you get up early in the morning? 9 बजे तक उठ जाते हैं, तो वो नहीं चलेगा. Somebody said, oh, you get up Brahma Muhurt before 4 a.m. I'm convinced. तो जो 9 बजे उठने की आदत है, वो अगर that person thinks that I'll from tomorrow onwards I'll do 4 a.m. Before 4 a.m. might do. बहुत enthusiasm है तो might do it once, twice, third day bound to fail. And then they will give up. ये तुमसे नहीं होगा. But
see, please don't do any individual video recording. It's not permitted. It's distracting also. Wherever you are, if somebody is doing it again, please don't do it. Who is doing, someone is recording there, don't do video recording.
See. So, but this person who cannot get up at 4 a.m. gets up at 9 o'clock. If that person says, all right, tomorrow I'll get up at 8:45. That's a small improvement. And you can do it. Nobody's mind will tell you that you can't make a small change. You can make a small change. And then maybe after, they say, any new habit you should hold on to for 21 days, repeat it until it becomes ingrained in your nerves. So 21 days for 8:45 gets up at 8:45. And then makes it 8:30. And this way comes to a reasonable time of getting up. So you get the idea. They call it incremental change. Small incremental changes which are sustainable, doable. Your mind will also say, you can do it. हमारे एक स्वामी जी थे, स्वामी Sarvapriyananda ji. He just passed away. Now he was in charge of the Ramakrishna in Raipur. Very inspiring for young people. I heard one of his talks once. He said, क्या अभ्यास करें, क्या practice करें? What change can we make in our lives? He says, न्यूनतम से शुरू करो, सरलतम का अभ्यास करो. Basically, the Kaizen theory of the Japanese quality management. न्यूनतम से शुरू करो, सरलतम का अभ्यास करो. न्यूनतम means smallest. Start with the smallest. Smallest what? Whatever you want to change in your life. Routine हो सकता है, health हो सकता है, food हो सकता है, studies हो सकती है, whatever. Start with the smallest. Don't keep it at the smallest. Start with the smallest and practice the easiest. You have little successes, you will get confidence. ये हमसे होगा. I have done this much, आगे का भी हम संभाल लेंगे. One American psychologist Albert Bandura, he called it self-efficacy. Self-efficacy means the confidence that I can meet most challenges in my life. जो कुछ करते हैं वो धीरे धीरे कॉन्फिडेंस आ जाती है ये इतना तो हम करने कर लिया न्यू चैलेंज जस्ट कम आई कैन फेस इट सो बेटर टू कीप ट्राइंग स्मॉल improvements so the head you'll improve your studies a little bit today little bit tomorrow little bit the after second he said heart this, I'm going back to that management consultant what he told the class 10 students heart your feelings for others your behavior with others improve it a little bit with your friends with your teachers, with your parents, with your co-workers, improve it a little bit. We all think, कोई improvement की गुंजाइश नहीं है क्योंकि I'm perfect. You should ask your friends. They will give you a whole list. कहाँ कहाँ improvement चाहिए तुमको. Many things others notice which we don't notice. So try to improve your behavior with others, feelings for others, heart. And then hand is work, especially working with others. This is very important. Most of our complaints are not about life or ourselves. Complaints are about other people. There was a survey in corporate America, and they asked corporate bosses, what is the one quality that you look for? HR department. What is the one quality that you look for in prospective hires? And they said teamwork, the ability to work with others. Not your qualification, not your past achievements. All these are good. But your ability to work with others. Very valuable commodity. So, heart and hand. Hand is whatever you are working, the consultant said to the students, आप जो भी कर रहे हैं in your studies, plus 10 students, in your studies, in your hostel, in your games, whatever you're doing, make it a little better. Your actual activities in life, improve it a little bit. So, little by little, day by day, week by week, month by month, incremental improvement, head, heart, hand. It will transform your life. It will transform your life day to day. So, this development, self-development, but it comes based on this confidence that you can make your life better. Now, positive psychologist Martin Seligman, he said something interesting. I saw a video, an interview with him on YouTube, and he said, joking, it's a joke. It's didn't actually happen. What is this positive psychology? He was asked, and he said, once I was interviewed by CNN, and that interviewer reporter asked me, "Sir, what is the status of psychology today?" But this is CNN. You cannot give लंबी भाषण नहीं दे सकते हो. So to give one word, कितना बोल सकते हैं? एक शब्द बोलिए. The professor said, "Good." Sir, what is the status of psychology today? Good. Cut. नहीं. थोड़ा खोल के बोलिए. Little more. How many words? 2 words. Sir, what is the state of psychology today? He said, not good. First you said good, now you say not good. What do you mean? 3 words. What is the state of psychology today? And he said, not good enough. So it is good. We have achieved something. इतने सारे illnesses हैं उनको हम लोग समझ पाए हैं. कुछ treatment तो निकला है over the last 100 years since William James Freud and all. Today we have come quite a distance. But then it's not good enough. It's only associated with some mental illness and plus. What will make, he says, what will make psychology good enough? और बेहतर कैसे कर सकते हैं psychology? A little better improvement. And he said, what about the strengths, the good side of human life, not just illness? Why? Instead of taking from -5 to 0, what about 0 to +5? So he gave this program. Psychology should be interested in human character development. Psychology should be interested in happiness. Academically study what makes people happy, what are the best practices, and how we can learn from that and make our lives, change our lives also. Concentration, confidence, self-confidence. So these are the areas in which he introduced positive psychology. It's been going on last 25 years. A lot of research has been done. One of the earliest books which I'm going to draw on today, self-confidence, importance of self-confidence. This one of the earliest books was Nathaniel Branden's 6 pillars of self-esteem. 6 pillars of self-esteem. आजकल पढ़ता नहीं है कोई, but it's really worth reading. You don't have to read it. आपको पढ़ना नहीं है, पढ़ना है तो पढ़ लीजिए. It's very worthwhile. But I'll give you the summary, gist of it today. Nathaniel Branden's 6 pillars of self-esteem. अपने ऊपर confidence, regard for oneself. आत्मश्रद्धा कैसे आएगी? So that was the study done by that person. He was a very well-known psychologist at one time. I think he was in New York. And he wrote this book, big bestseller at one time, now sort of forgotten. 6 pillars of self-esteem. As somebody said, we sabotage ourselves by not having self-esteem, self-confidence. आत्मश्रद्धा नहीं होने से अपने आप को sabotage कर देते हैं. I think of hey, Gurgaon में, there's so many big cars, SUV, you know, and auto वाला भी है. तो अब SUV अगर मान लीजिए the driver has put his foot on the accelerator and has put his foot on the brakes. अब क्या होगा? The engine will race, the engine will get overheated, it will hardly move or not move at all. The vehicle, such a big and powerful vehicle. उसके पास में जो ऑटो वाला है वो पट करते करते निकल जाएगा. टुक टुक. In Thailand or somewhere in Southeast Asia they call it tuk tuk. Tuk tuk करके निकल जाएगा. वैसे ही you may have top degrees from big colleges in India, IIT, USA, Ivy League college. You may parents may be very wealthy. You may have all the privileges in life, but if you sabotage yourself, वो अपने लाइफ पर ब्रेक लगाए रखते हो, अपने अंदर से आगे नहीं बढ़ पाओगे. तो बस गर्म होगा, इंजन गर्म होगा, टेंशन होगा. And the other person who does not have the same privileges as we have, maybe comes from a poor family. The APJ students here, so their president was telling me about her father just a couple of days back. Those are not from APJ, we have heard of APJ, right? There are big schools, universities, all of that, plus huge industrial conglomerate. So Dr. Satya Paul, जो उनके father थे, and she was saying that he was born with, he had polio as a child. छोटी सी स्कूल में जाते थे with crutch. And coming from a humble background, with what effort he struggled, became the gold medalist topper in pre-independence India in mathematics, then went on to become a freedom fighter, went on to become a scientist and industrialist and educationist. But see, transforming a very difficult situation, he made his life worthwhile, and his life is such a blessing to so many people around today. We all are getting the benefit. One example. I quoted Milton. I love that line from Milton. He says, the mind in its own place can make a heaven of hell and a hell of heaven. अपना मन, आप खुद नरक को स्वर्ग बना सकते हैं और स्वर्ग को नरक बना सकते हैं. कौन कौन बना सकता है? The mind. Sri Krishna tells Arjuna in the Bhagavad Gita this secret. You are your own greatest friend, you are your own worst enemy. So this, what makes the mind able to turn Narak into Swarg, hell into heaven, or worse, from heaven to hell? What makes the mind your best friend or your worst enemy? First component is self-confidence. First component is self-confidence, self-esteem, Atma-Shraddha. We use some advertisement. Now, in order to make attentive to what's coming now. So I'm going to talk about the 6 pillars of self-esteem or self-confidence from Nathaniel Branden's book. Up attentively so. The first thing he says is attention, consciously, living consciously. Living consciously. What does he mean by living consciously? अपना जीवन में क्या हो रहा है उसके बारे में होश रहना चाहिए. What am I doing? Why am I doing? अभी कर रहे हैं, कल करें, पिछले दिन किया, आज अभी कर रहे हैं, ये क्यों कर रहे हैं? Often we say, I say, Swami Sarvapriyananda ji was the president of our order, remarkable person, 13th president of our order. So one of the things which would annoy him would be if anybody said, I say. Bengali में वो कहते हैं एमनी, I say. Why are you going there? कोई आंसर नहीं, सोचा ही नहीं, ऐसे ही. he would say, what is this enemy? What is this SAE? You must be aware, conscious of what you are doing, why you are doing it. Galat ho, theek ho, but aware, first of all aware. If we are not aware of what we are doing and where we are going, SAE, then nothing will help. First of all, become aware. एक जो audit कहते हैं, internal audit. हम क्या कर रहे हैं, क्यों कर रहे हैं, why am I saying such things, why am I thinking such things? So this awareness, self-awareness, living conscious. ये जो अभी हम बता रहे हैं. Afterwards, I'll ask you, what are the 6 pillars of self-esteem? So only when we have listened consciously, we'll be able to retain some of it at least. With self-awareness, एक Tibetan Lama को कहे कि उनको जब पढ़ाया जाता है Tibetan Buddhism, how to listen. Living consciousness का एक नमूना है, this one part of it. How to listen? He says, do not listen like a upside down pot, leaky pot, dirty pot. Upside down pot, leaky pot, dirty pot. Like कलश है, उसको आप उल्टा रख दीजिए. अब उसमें पानी डालते जाइए, एक भी बूंद पानी जाएगा उसके अंदर, no, it will all flow. Some are like that. क्लास में बैठे हैं, सुने, सब कुछ हुआ, क्या पढ़ाई हुआ? ठीक से याद नहीं आ रहा, सुना ही नहीं है. It has not gone. No, बाहर ऊपर से चला जाता, अंदर भी नहीं. किसी का अंदर में जाता है, उधर से निकल जाता है, लेकिन इसके अंदर ही नहीं गया. Then there is the leaky part. जो अंदर गया, but after some time it's gone, unable to hold on to it. Then dirty pot, अंदर तो जाता है, लेकिन पहले से ही there is some kind of, for example, हम आए हैं इधर, सुनेंगे, but what is the purpose? Not to take away something from it, to prove you wrong. हम ठीक जानते हैं, ये गलत बोल रहा है. There is a dirty pot. I've come with some other agenda. यहाँ नहीं, but it could be. So living consciously that what am I doing? Why am I doing it? Aware. Bring awareness to one's own life, अपने life. इसके बाद next step, तो 6 है, there are 6 pillars, एक के बाद एक आता है. Next step is acceptance. Acceptance. मान लेना. क्या मान लेना? Our own weaknesses, our own deficiencies. Self-improvement cannot start without knowing what is to be improved. Our journey of improvement cannot start without knowing where we are starting the journey. कहाँ से शुरू कर रहे हैं? एक साधु उत्तराखंड में, he said something so valuable. He says, अपनी सच्चाई स्वीकार कर लेना महात्मा जी बहुत भारी बात है. It's a very profound thing, useful thing, valuable thing. Even to acknowledge one's defects. बात दूसरों को भी नहीं बोलना है, लेकिन खुद से नहीं छुपाना. I should be aware. अपनी सच्चाई अपने पास clear होनी चाहिए. Only then progress is possible. Now somebody may ask, आप तो बात कर रहे हैं आत्मश्रद्धा की, self confidence की, लेकिन अपनी दोष पर, if you dwell on your weakness, aren't you sabotaging yourself? I want to be better. अब पहले ही बोल रहे अपना लिस्ट बनाओ अपनी खामियां की, your own weaknesses, your own defects, your own problems. Do you see the question? बड़ाई ना देख के आप अपने आप को हीन देख रहे हैं. So how will this help? Well, we can only be confident about ourselves. We can be proud about ourselves only when we know we are not deceiving ourselves. अपनी सच्चाई actually अपने आप से छिपी नहीं है. We only look away from it. उसके वो देखते नहीं हैं. But we know it is there. Only if I look at it, acknowledge it, not to feel depressed, I will change it. Life is there ahead of me. I will change it. I will make it much better. Then I can have real pride on myself. Because I have been honest with myself. So Ramakrishna also used to say, जो अपनी दुर्बलता को सरलता से मान ले, मानना चाहिए उसमें कुछ है, उसमें कुछ ठोस some substance in that person. That person can improve easily, not with difficulty, easily. So this is the second thing. Accepting one's defects, problems, right now. अपने आप से. As somebody said, I should not tell it loudly. Yes, one of our great Swami, Swami Vivekananda, in his wonderful book, Towards the Goal Supreme, बंगाली में परमार्थ प्रसंग और हिंदी में भी है शायद परमार्थ प्रसंग छोटी सी किताब है. His whole life spiritual treasure is put in that little book. 1, 2, 3, 4 points are like 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. Just one sentence each. उसमें एक जगह वो कहते हैं at the very beginning, do not talk about your weakness too much with others, except with आप अपने teacher के साथ, parents, whomever you like, your guide, your teacher, your guru, your counselor. That much is not. Other than that, no need to talk about it. Don't dwell on it also in the sense that मैं तो बुरा हूँ ही, मैं तो ऐसे ही हूँ. Then you will pull yourself down. No, this is a fact about me. I will change it. So living consciously and then accepting what is wrong right now in the situation. ये ऐसा है, इसको सुधारना है. This is the action point. Next, we will have confidence in ourselves if we take responsibility for ourselves. Next, taking responsibility. For what? Not for the problem of the world. Gaza में क्या हो रहा है, US में क्या हो रहा है, ठीक है problem है, but that is not right now my responsibility. My first responsibility is myself. You yourself are your own first responsibility. And I take responsibility for that. Often we avoid that responsibility. We often say, company में there is lot of office politics, Maharaj. है तो, but that I am using as an excuse. Or family में lot of problems, है तो, but I should not use that as an excuse. When others have tackled worse problems, more difficult problems, and gone ahead, I too can. At least the attitude should not be, देखो ये problem है, ये problem है, ये problem है, hence मैं नालायक हूँ. No. You're making a jump. Problems will be there for everybody all the time. But that should not make us, irresponsible towards ourselves. Take responsibility at least for one thing, your own life. कैसे होगा? When people, there's so many problems for people, financial problems, health problems, job problems, tremendously competitive, all these are there. Yes, we know. But one thing you have responsibility over, one thing you have control over, your reaction. At the next moment, what I will think about, what I will say, and what I will do, that much control I have got. I'll repeat it again. This choice I have got. This is a power that you have got. I call it a superpower. This is a power that we have got, power to choose next moment. What can I choose? What I will think. One moment, what thought will be there in my mind? If people say think positively, नहीं होता है महाराज जी. Yes, for a long time you may not be able to do it. Doing more positive thinking, it might be possible. But next one moment, 1 second के लिए, can I have a positive thought in my mind? Yes, nobody will say no here. Everybody will say yes, I can do. Can I have positive, constructive words? Next moment, just next moment. Maybe not the whole day, but next moment. Can I do the right thing, which I think is the right thing? Next moment. Yes, one moment के लिए अपने आप को control कर सकते हैं. Then, the moment after that, again you have the choice. 10 times you may fail, 11th time you will succeed. There is no doubt about it. This choice is a wonderful thing. Every moment this choice is available, even if we have wasted all our life till now. Nobody here has wasted all their life. They wouldn't be here otherwise. But even if we have wasted a lot of our life, but remember, every moment, completely clean slate is there. Next moment you can choose. I remember one sadhu in Gangotri, very great sadhu has passed away. उनके कुटिया में जाके बात करती, he was telling me a lot of things to inspire me. Then I said, Maharaj, problem ये है कि अभी तो हम inspired हो गए. लेकिन I know that when I go back, I will not be able to live up to this. कुछ होगा शायद, mostly नहीं होगा. So then he said, हाँ, बीत गई बहुत सारे अवसर, समय चली गई, अनमोल थे वो, लेकिन कोई परवाह नहीं, आगे का जीवन उज्जवल. So, and that आगे का जीवन till the end of our life, next moment we have control. कोई हम यहाँ तक कह रहे हैं, कोई some old person dying paralyzed in the hospital cannot do anything at all. only suffering and dying, guaranteed है next few hours or days में. But next moment what he will think, that he has control over. If he can speak, next moment what he will speak, one moment, that he has control over. It is a saying, unhappiness also. Nobody can make you unhappy without your permission. लोग आपको कुछ भी कर सकते हैं, लेकिन आपका रिएक्शन पर आपको कंट्रोल है, at least for one moment. So, taking responsibility. आज irresponsible होना एक फैशन हो गया, especially in the West. तुम ऐसे क्यों हो? You're a drug addict. Why? मेरे पेरेंट्स ऐसे थे. Blame. पूरा का पूरा बाप पे ठोक दिया. My father is the cause, the mother is the cause, the family is the cause of my problem. No, you're making a jump. Apna responsibility you are avoiding. A lot of other people with the same family situation or worse family situation have improved their lives. So, next. और या society ऐसी है, family ऐसा है, आज का वातावरण ऐसा है. But all of them is shifting the responsibility. Once I shift the responsibility, first consequence will be अपने ऊपर कोई there will be no confidence in oneself, no respect for yourself. If you take, this is the beauty of that, the points of Professor Brandon, that if you take responsibility for yourself, first consequence is you will be proud of yourself. अपने पैर पर खड़े हो जाओगे, psychologically speaking. How much success you will get वो बाद में देखा जाएगा. But since you're standing on your own feet, you will have self-esteem. I am trying. Then once you take responsibility for yourself, the next thing is to actualize it. Actually in life what you have to do, जो आप change करना चाहते हैं, whatever you want to do in life, you have to be assertive about it. ये कौन सा number हुआ? Fourth one. Good. Many people are conscious. The fourth one. You have to be assertive about it. What does assertive mean? It means the ability to say no. You have to say no to many things in life. Decision. I just said you have a choice. Every moment you have a choice. You have the power to take a decision every moment. With the decision, I learned something from a management teacher once in the class. He said, you decide, you choose. Choice करो. You wrote 2 options. 3 options. A, B, C लिख दिए. आप आके इसको choose करो. अपना choice कैसे दिखाओगे? We all went up to the board. हम लोग टिक किए, कोई A टिक किया, कोई B टिक. कुछ लिखा नहीं है, बस A, B, C लिखा हुआ है. Show me your choice. कोई circle किया, कोई टिक किया, whatever they wanted. He said, no. When you choose something, you should cut out the other options. He said, you want to choose A, tick A, and B and C cut out. You have to say no there. Otherwise, this A will be this, yes will be weak S. हिल जाएगा. नीचे का जो बाकी का सब options है, cut it out. Then he told us, decision comes from cesarean. तो cesarean section होता है ना, cesarean operation. जहाँ से फिर बाद में scissor आया है. Decision means to cut. We think decision means okay कहना. नहीं, he said no कहना. एक को choose करो और दूसरे को no करो. So that is how you have to take decision. Assertiveness, ability to say no. जो अपना, you have made up your mind. These are my standards. हम ये करेंगे, ये नहीं करेंगे. And when the pressure comes to do that, one must have the confidence to say no. I will not do that. As I keep on asserting myself. This is my life, this is my routine, this is what I desire, I'll work there. And this assertiveness, दूसरों को बोलना तो बाद में. You have to keep telling your own mind first. And as we do this, as you keep saying no, no, cutting it out, first thing will happen, you will get confidence. एक बार no बोलो, second time no बोलने के लिए your muscle will be stronger. But very quickly it will change. It will become much easier. So assertiveness. Another thing about assertiveness, in life, is all from human resource management. In life and in job, we find 2 kinds of people often are there. There are those who are aggressive. चिल्लाते हैं, bad behavior करते हैं. Office में हो, school में हो, कहीं पर भी. Aggressive people. They try to get their way by bullying, by forcing, by shouting, misbehaving. थ्रेटनिंग या कुछ इंप्रेसिव पर्सनालिटी लेके एग्रेसिव है. अनदर काइंड इज मैनिपुलेटिव. पॉलिटिक्स करते हैं, आपके सामने एक तरह के होते हैं, आपके पीठ पीछे दूसरे तरह के होते हैं. Unbelievably, totally different kind of behavior. This is manipulative. Both are bad. Aggressive is bad, manipulative is bad. Bad for ourselves and bad for organizations, school, community, everything. In between, aggressive on one side, manipulative on one side, in between is assertive. Assertive means आपको जो बोलना है, कहना है, you have a right to say it without being aggressive. The other person also has a right to not disagree with yours. So, assertive. Then, next, Brandon says, to have confidence in oneself, one must have a purpose in life, goal in life. I sometimes joke, जैसे आप मान लीजिए यहाँ से आपको टैक्सी लेना, आजकल तो वो चेंज हो गया, उबर और क्या लिफ्ट ये सब ओला आ गया है. पहले यूज्ड टू कॉल अ टैक्सी, या ऑटो वाला या रिक्शा वाला बुला, तो वो बोलेगा बाबू कहाँ जाना है या दीदी कहाँ जाना है. You will always say वहाँ जाना है, by this route जाना है. You will have some idea. You will never say मुझे चलने दो. You will never get on a taxi or auto. जहाँ चलना है चलने दो. If you do that, you will never reach any goal. So a purpose in life, consciously decided purpose and goal in life, that this is where I want to go. You may change that goal. Swami Vivekananda said that that which transforms our life is always have the highest, noblest goal. Make it your own highest ideal. What should we follow in life? Can't have another question. What should we follow in life? We should follow our own highest ideal. But many things are there which are attractive in life. Among those things which are attractive in life, inspiring in life, select which seems to be the highest means of noble, the highest morally, ethically, आपका जीवन का बहुत आदर्श लगता है. Select that. That will inspire you. That will give you a sense of purpose. I sometimes, in these audiences like this, I say, what is the difference between us and many people here? Not Mahatma hai, Maharana hai. No, only there is a difference. But there is one difference. There's only one difference. We have a goal. We have a purpose. That's all. Nothing else. Nothing else. Very ordinary way. Often among youngsters, I ask, so what is the purpose of life? बहुत लोग खड़े होकर बोल देते हैं, स्कूल कॉलेज के बच्चे, ये होना चाहिए, ये करना चाहिए, वो करना चाहिए. तुम्हारा पर्पस क्या है लाइफ का? ऐसे तो कुछ होता नहीं. स्कूल में भर्ती कर दिए मम्मी पापा, वही कर रहे हैं. फ्रेंड्स आर गोइंग टू कॉलेज, आई एम गोइंग टू कॉलेज. यही सब्जेक्ट पॉपुलर है तो वही पढ़ रहे हैं. Why? What is your purpose in life? Everybody has a purpose in life. And pick up your own highest ideal. When you have a purpose in life and you take decisions, saying no to other things, and moving towards that goal, your life will change very fast. अब देखो कैसे connected है. First of all, one must be conscious of oneself. उसके बाद one must accept one's problems. मैं यहाँ हूँ, वहाँ जाना है लेकिन अभी यहाँ. स्वामी विवेकानंद जब practical वेदांत की बात कहते थे, he would say, Vedanta is practical but only in sense of the ideal. एक आदर्श की ओर ले जाएगा, प्रैक्टिकली ले जाएगा, उसी सेंस पे प्रैक्टिकल है. नॉट इन द सेंस कि हम जो है वही आइडियल है. He says always beware of people who make excuses for our weaknesses. तुम जो हो, जैसे हो, जो चाहते हो वही आइडियल है, ऐसे बोलने के लिए बहुत लोग हैं. And that those people become very popular. With some struggle, we have to push our life from this level to a little higher. So in that sense, it is practical Vedanta in that sense. Then we take, you accept our problems and take responsibility for ourselves. Huh. Yes. Yes. Right. So purpose should be said. So purpose in life. So Vedanta says purpose in life is God realization. Not just Vedanta. Every part of Sanatana Dharma. In fact, all spiritual traditions will say that ultimately there's a purpose. Yes, the ultimate purpose is that. And then can there be other purposes in life? Certainly, certainly. There will be a purpose in your professional life. There will be a purpose in your personal life, you are developing. You could break it down even further. In your health, in your financial health, in your relationships, and all converging on a very high global idea. So देश सेवा भी हो सकता है. It could be science, it could be art. Ultimately, the highest thing is spiritual liberation, moksha, nirvana, jo bhi bolo. But this gives purpose, and this integrates the whole of life. हम क्या करें, क्यों करें, इस जगह में कैसे बिहेव करें, every question will be answered if you have got purpose. अब उस purpose से देख लोगे, मिला लोगे. If I have to go towards my purpose, what kind of thinking will help me? What kind of speaking will help me? What kind of action will help me? So yes, it can be integrated. It can be integrated. To give you an example, there was this gentleman I met more than 25 years ago, a conference. He was head of Johnson & Johnson's के बड़े division के head थे. He told me a story. He told us, not me. He said, my spirit, I was not a spiritual person as such. But one thing I would do, he had written the Vivekananda College in Chennai. He said, one thing I would do was, I would read Vivekananda every day. तो बहुत brilliant student थे वो, पढ़ाई खत्म की, then he went into IIM Ahmedabad, उसके बाद अच्छी नौकरी मिल गई in a liquor company. Whiskey company, India is one of the top companies. And he rose step by step higher and higher. He said, it troubled me. Every day I would read Vivekananda and think, kar kya hai? My whole purpose in life, so he said purpose in life, my whole purpose in life is to get as many people drunk as much as possible. Then he said, he told us, I thought, either I have to stop that or stop reading Vivekananda. दोनों में एक को छोड़ना पड़ेगा. They're not compatible. But I don't want to become a monk or give up all my, my worldly life. So what can I do? Then he decided, I will stay in this life, corporate life. But I will take up some kind of product, some kind of organization which will have some help to human beings, which is useful, not harmful for human beings. So finally he got a very good job in terms of that's how he came to this position. And he rose very high. So see how the decision, purpose helped him to make a decision. If he had thought money, he might not have changed his job. If he had thought, international travel, कितने बार विदेश जा सकता हूँ, he might not have changed his job. But purpose that helped him to change his job. People really ask them what is the purpose. Most people will say I don't have any particular purpose. कोई purpose is there. Job में जाना है, पैसा paycheck लेना है, I have to spend money to work for my family. That much purpose is there. It's automatically given. Any higher purpose in life, most people will say no. But I say when you go to our monastery, Belur Math में जाओगे आप, any of our ashrams, go to the junior most, the person who has become a monk just yesterday. Ask him, what is the purpose of your life? He will tell you very clearly. Atmano mokshartham jagatitaya. For one's own liberation, for the welfare of the world. It's automatic. He has become a monk means कुछ सोच के पाया है. That वो सोच ही उसका purpose है. Start with the junior most, go up to President Maharaj, who is the head of the organization. All will tell you the same thing. और वो purpose को जहाँ तक हम पकड़ के रखे हैं, it has transformed our lives. And then finally, the sense of personal integrity. I must be at least honest in my own eyes. I should be able to hold on to the truth and not compromise with it. If I compromise with it, I will lose esteem in my own eyes. And जहाँ तक I am truthful to myself, वहाँ तक I have respect for myself. Respect for myself और confidence भी होगा. All right, I take a break here. Now I'm going to throw the ball back to you. I'm going to ask you. So, self-confidence, positive psychology, especially from what we have got from Nathaniel Branden. I just given you the summary of the book. What is the first thing that he says? To have confidence, what should we do? Attention to our own life. क्या कर रहे हैं, क्यों कर रहे हैं? Not all the time. ऐसा नहीं है कि हर वक्त सोचना टेंशन हो रहा है, क्या कर रहे हैं, क्यों कर रहे हैं? Generally, I should be aware that I'm spending my time fruitfully. Not, I say, somebody asks, so relax नहीं करेंगे. Relax करेंगे, but that also should be conscious that I am relaxing. Often ऐसे ही जब बोलते we are not even conscious of relaxing, we're just wasting time. ऐसे ही we don't even want to waste time. ये एक तामसिक वृत्ति है that we go on doing something without reflecting back on ourselves. Lot of time and energy goes like that. Then the second one, acceptance of our own defects. अपनी खामियां दोष को थोड़ा मान लेना चाहिए. This is our problem. Internal audit जो कहते हैं internal audit of our own life. मैं कहाँ हूँ? जो साधु वो जो कहे अपनी सच्चाई स्वीकार कर लेना महात्मा जी बहुत भारी चीज है. Accept your own truth. It's not an unchangeable truth. Certainly it can be changed. In fact, first step to changing it is accepting it, not denying it. Then next, accept करने के बाद responsibilities. Whatever the world is, however people are, primary responsibility is mine. At least for next moment, हम क्या सोचेंगे that responsibility definitely is mine. Then responsibility लेंगे उसके बाद क्या करेंगे? The ability to say no. Remember decision, cut. Tick mark तो छोटी चीज है. The असली बात है cut करना. These cut from my life. ये habits cut from my life. I will not look back at that also. This kind of behavior cut from my life. Swami Sarvapriyananda, I mentioned him. He said, bad language. Once as a schoolboy, he came back home and he had uttered some abusive word he learned at school. Little boy. His mother told him, if you speak like that, Saraswati will never dwell on your tongue. And that affected his mind so much. He immediately decided, kabhi waisi baat nahi aayegi. So that kind, I'm giving an example. Whatever you want to change in your life, cut. So that is assertiveness. Next, higher purpose. Choose a purpose in life. Abhi kar sakte ho. Whatever you want, people want things. You want things. You want to be rich. You want to be popular. You want to have people around your family, relationships. You want to achieve. You want higher, peaceful life, ethical life, spiritual life. We all want, who does not want it? But make it a deliberate, conscious purpose. One management expert, he drew these 4 circles. 4 circles. So my goal in life, I've got some purpose. What am I going to do for that purpose? Whole year, end of the year, this is where I want to see myself. Then second one, this month, what will I do towards that? Part of a year-long program. Third circle, this week, what will I do? Last circle, what will I do today towards that circle? Many interesting things are there. Positive psychology में जैसे deciding a purpose and time management. So this idea difference between urgent and important. तो बहुत सारी चीज लाइफ में अर्जेंट होता है. फोन, especially phone. If it rings, it's urgent because urgent मतलब अभी करना पड़ेगा. You can't say, अच्छा फोन बज रही है, ठीक है शाम को देख लेंगे. No, you have to take the call in the next. अगर लेना ही है, next few seconds you have to say yes, hello. But urgent means it may not be important. Often 99% calls are not important. Sometimes urgent may be important. कहीं medical emergency किसी को हो गया तो अभी देखना है उसको, and it's important also. But often there are many things which are urgent but not important in our lives. And there are many things which are neither urgent nor important. And they occupy a lot of our time. लेकिन what we have to concentrate on, सबसे ये अहम बात है, is the thing which is important but not urgent. All the greatest things in your life, the best things in your life are important to you, but they are not urgent. क्या बोलेंगे? जैसे हमको एक्सरसाइज करना है, it's important, but it's not urgent. आज नहीं किया तो कुछ खास कुछ नहीं होगा, कल भी नहीं किया तो खास कुछ नहीं होगा, 20 years तक नहीं किया तो हेल्थ will be bad. College teachers often tell me, हमको PhD करना है, but हो नहीं रहा है because college का I've got a responsibility of the college and घर की काम है, सब कुछ है तो I don't have time for PhD. ठीक है, आज नहीं किया कल नहीं किया no problem. But 20 years later you have not done your PhD, time is gone. So anything that is urgent, meditation. अभी आप meditate नहीं किए कोई नुकसान नहीं होगा आपका. 50 years of your life you don't meditate, oh you lost the chance. Like that, anything you want to do in life, any great thing, what is valuable for you, you will see it is usually, almost always, it is not urgent, but very important. तो जो चीज आपके लिए इंपॉर्टेंट है लेकिन अर्जेंट नहीं है, अगर अर्जेंट है तो आप करेंगे, कोई प्रेशर इज देयर, बट अर्जेंट नहीं है, जैसे असाइनमेंट्स ड्यू डेट तक वो अर्जेंट नहीं है, इंपॉर्टेंट है लेकिन अर्जेंट नहीं है, सो टालते गए, बट ड्यू डेट जब आ गया, ये सबमिट डेडलाइन, then we become very active. तब देखो कि डेडलाइन एग्जामिनेशन से पहले कॉलेज लाइब्रेरी में भरा हुआ है, एट अदर टाइम्स एकदम एम्प्टी, कोई नहीं है, तो पहले पढ़ना था, but it was not urgent. But before examination, before the assignment is due, it is urgent and important. So that it is important but not urgent, those who are successful consciously devote time and energy to that purpose. Important but not urgent. Think about it, what is important and not urgent. Purpose in life. So you must do something today for that purpose in life. It's not urgent. Because it is not urgent, you have to deliberately do it. और कोई नहीं करेगा आपके लिए. One brahmachari, he joined in our ashram. One senior Swami, he was given charge of the bookstore. और सुबह सुबह उठ के ध्यान करना पड़ता है. So he was not going for early morning meditation. One Swami had told him, very nice guy, I remember still, nearly 15-20 years ago. He said, देखो, आपको ड्यूटी दिया गया है बुक स्टोर मैनेजमेंट का. We will extract it from you. आप नहीं गए तो people will come and say book store नहीं खुला हुआ है. बड़े महाराज आ जाएंगे, they will come and scold you. Why have you not opened the bookstore? This pressure on you to do the work, the world will extract work from you, which you are being paid for, will extract. But early morning meditation on God, God will not extract from you. आपको नहीं करना है, सोए रहो. But that is most important in your life. वो आपको consciously deliberately करना पड़ेगा. In this language, it is important but not urgent. There is no pressure as such. The important thing you must deliberately do. And finally, last, personal integrity. So ये हुआ living consciously, then acceptance of one's problems and defects. Third is taking responsibility for oneself. Then asserting, especially saying no, with the purpose in life, and having personal integrity. So these are the 6 pillars of self-esteem, according to Nathaniel Branden. You want practically कैसे to develop confidence in oneself. So very valuable, I think, these suggestions. Okay, we will stop here, take some questions, then I will go to the second point, that is concentration. How are we doing with time? Yes, we have time. So raise your hand. Yeah, the gentleman there. And when they come to you with a microphone, one thing you should do is keep your hand raised, because लोग क्या करते हैं, उठा के फिर बैठ गए. तो जो ढूंढ रहा microphone लेके कहाँ गया वो? Yes, and that person, you got the microphone?
Yes.
Yes. Tell us your name and ask the question.
My name is Rishi, pronounced Swami. I have 2 questions actually. The first is, when you're a student, there's a lot of enthusiasm and passion for your subject, just pure love. But once you enter an organization, there are many other things like office politics, power dynamics. In that, sometimes that love gets challenged or lost. So how do you deal with that? And the second point is, the purpose of life. As a student can be very clear sometimes, but in that again organizational setting where so many other factors are there, it can sometimes become unclear again. So how do you get away from that confusion and find that clarity again?
That's a good question. You love your subject, and then you do well in college, in university. When you get into a job, everything becomes confusing. You see that people are maybe not all that interested in the subject. There are other issues, personal issues, office issues, politics issues. People are not giving importance to your actual area of expertise. It will naturally happen. Students at young age are enthusiastic. You did this. I told you to raise your hands, and you raised a little further. Improve yourself little by little, that much only. This works for all of us. With the little kids, it doesn't work. आप बोलो उनको raise your hand, maximum करते हैं तो, because they have full enthusiasm as little kids. They try to do whatever they have to do with all their heart. Yes. This is something you have to. This is is the next level of your challenge, which you did not have in school or college. Even in school or college, notice there are subjects which you don't like. Even in the subject which is your passion, there will be areas or chapters which you don't like, which are not so much interested in. So let us develop the capacity to throw our mind into something and focus it there and withdraw it when it's necessary. The next topic will be concentration. We'll talk about it there. It is easy to concentrate on something which you like. Automatically we do that. A cricket match or interesting conversation or a movie. Kitna focus aa jata hai automatically. But things which we don't like, we're not interested in, there we develop the power of concentration. Swami Vivekananda said the secret of concentration, which we'll talk about later, but he gave the secret in one sentence. The secret of concentration is to do whatever you're doing with the fullest possible attention. Whatever you are doing, especially if it's not particularly interesting, do it with the fullest possible concentration. I am reminded of Ken Toyama, I've forgotten his name. If you Google it, you will find geek heresy. Geek heresy. With this gentleman, I met him in the University of Ann Arbor, Michigan. He is a Japanese American person, brilliant. He's got 2 PhDs from Ivy League universities. Brilliant person. And the presentation was this modern technology. आजकल बोलना भी तो पाप है ये, but he said this modern technology, digital technology, computers, this is not important for success in academic life. ये हम लोग जानते भी हैं, but the whole idea now is you can't have education without computers, without multimedia, without social media. आजकल तो kindergarten में भी पकड़ा देते हैं iPad, and now it's impossible to do anything because during COVID it all went online. आप जो भी बोलो, they are completely dependent on that technology during COVID itself. So ठीक है, but he said it is not essential to academic success. He calls it the geek heresy because this is just against the idea, against the whole philosophy in Silicon Valley. आपके सब बड़े-बड़े जितने सारे the digital age के जितने सब बड़े-बड़े companies हैं, they are all selling this philosophy for education. The internet is essential, social media is essential, these devices are essential. He said it's not essential. Then we asked him, this is the answer to your question, what is essential? What makes for good students? He said, once I was hired, he said, that gentleman, he said, once I was hired by a private school, when I was already a doctoral student, I was hired by a private school to teach senior students. And then I realized what is my job? Actually not to teach. The students will be studying, हमको just supervise करना है. I thought because of my high qualifications, I have been hired to be a super teacher to these kids. आपको पढ़ाना नहीं है. Make sure the students are studying. So he told us, in fact he told me personally. He said, the difference which it makes is work ethic. The ability that I'll take up this work and I'll deliver as my best. But whatever the subject is, there are some kids who put in there a lot into that subject, whether they like it or not. That makes for a successful scholar, and that makes for a successful career afterwards also. So many things which we do, we may not like it, may not be interested, still do a good job on it because it is your standard. It is your ethic. And this is what I stand for. मेरा काम का ये quality. It could be personal relationships, it could be boss and employee relationships, co-workers, it could be the projects that you take up. You may not get the best project that you wanted, you got a project which you're not interested in, but because of your work ethic, you will deliver excellent results there. That is a great thing. There is reading Simone Weil, I quoted her, French philosopher. Her brother was André Weil, a very well-known French mathematician. So Simone Weil, she says, school studies are spiritual practice. This is 1920s, 30s, she's saying. This is a book waiting for download. It's about spirituality. But she says school studies are spiritual practice. Especially when you study subjects which you do not like and you make an attempt to do it as well as you can, that develops a capacity very essential in spiritual life. Then there's a question. Yes, you can bring it here to the front row. Tell us your name and ask the question.
Pranam Swamiji. Pranam. My name is Aryan Aurora. Throughout the lecture, you touched on the importance of self-confidence, increasing one's self-esteem. I wanted to ask you, because these days you have a lot of young people, a lot of the youth that are entrepreneurs, that are influencers, that at least in their understanding are very self-confident, have a lot of high self-esteem. I wanted to get your take because a lot of the time, even having self-confidence and a lot of self-esteem can give right to your ego. You know, you can be like, oh, I have self-confidence, I have self-esteem, but now I feel like I'm more important than other people or I'm more significant. So in your understanding, how would you say we can still work on increasing our self-confidence, on increasing our self-esteem while maintaining our self-purpose, our purpose of life, of what we're doing, and not getting and falling into that ego trap? Thank you.
So, good question. How do you prevent arrogance? Overconfidence, we often say overconfidence. Pata nahi kya samajhta hai apne aap ko. We say that. How do you prevent that? The accepting one's limitations. So that is like a honesty check, a reality check they call it these days. But I would answer it in Swami Vivekananda's words. Swami Vivekananda stood for self-confidence. So what did he say about becoming arrogant? Humility. Humility. How did Swami Vivekananda understand humility? Vinay. Humility. Normally we mean humility मतलब दूसरों के सामने झुक जाना, अपने आप को ज़्यादा ऊंचा नहीं समझना. We think that अपने आप को थोड़ा नीचा रखना. Swami Vivekananda's understanding of humility was very different. He said humility means seeing the greatness in the other person. Humility means seeing the greatness in the other person. And Swami Vivekananda, the greatness about him was what he taught, he exactly was that. And he could transmit it to others. That's the secret of his power. He did not say one thing, he said many great things. But he could say that because he was himself so toweringly great. Completely honest. One of his American disciples or students who came, Josephine MacLeod, she said that the first thing I heard from Vivekananda was truth. The second time I heard him, it was truth. Third time and every time I heard him afterwards, it was truth. You felt this man is speaking the truth. Now, this thing about seeing the greatness in others, the same Josephine MacLeod said. She was an American lady and she was very well known in social circles and she had connections everywhere. She says, I have seen many great men in my life. I met the Tsar of Russia at that time. No, Kaiser. She met the Kaiser, the head of Germany at that time, pre-First World War. And I felt how great he is and how insignificant I am. As a personality. But when I met Vivekananda, I felt how great he is and how great I am. That's what Vivekananda would transmit. So, yes, Vivekananda would say, go ahead, I have confidence. In fact, some people, before Vivekananda became Vivekananda, if you look at his friends when he was a youngster, many people thought he was arrogant. So even if you feel that the person is becoming a little arrogant, does not matter as long as that person sees goodness and greatness in others. That's another way of understanding humility. Next. Yeah, that lady here, you just pass it on. Yeah.
Namaste, Maharaj. My name is Sruti, and my question was that you very rightly said, as when we're kids, our enthusiasm is to its maximum potential, and technically, intellectually, we're not assimilating anything that we are at this point.
Yes.
As we've grown up and we're sitting there, we're probably understanding all of it. But when it comes to application, we're almost stunted.
Yes.
So why do you think that happens, and why is it so difficult to emotionally detach ourselves, or rather put it in application what we completely understand?
We understand, but we don't apply. That's what you're saying.
Yes.
And that's true. That's true. आजकल एक phenomenon है motivational speaker. I have given some motivational talks also here, not in USA, because one of motivational speakers is a category. It's a whole industry. There are very well-known people there who are motivational speakers. The problem is motivational speakers and what they teach is it's very inspiring, very exciting, but ultimately you don't see much change in yourself. There is a category called self-help books. It's different from positive psychology. आप यूएसए में तो अभी और यहाँ भी आजकल बुक शॉप्स आर ऑलमोस्ट गॉन. बुक शॉप्स आर ऑलमोस्ट गॉन थैंक्स टू अमेज़न. आप इनकी देखो ऐसे है न्यूयॉर्क कैन स्टार्टेड अ बुक शॉप देमसेल्व्स, एक्चुअल फिजिकल बुक शॉप. हम लोग मजाक करते थे, सबको बिजनेस से निकाल दिया, अब खुद बुक शॉप बना रहे हैं. लकीली वहां पर भी कोई नहीं है, तो वो भी हो गया. Now you will see in these bookshops, few are remaining. You will see big rows of books, whole shelves, self-help books. कैसे confidence बढ़ाना है, कैसे friends बनाना है, how to lose weight. One big problem is mountain, so you have to become thin. How to lose weight, how can you improve your focus or concentration, how you can manage time better. So many topics, all self-improvement, better. It's not that वो गलत है. Many of those books have some valuable thing to give. Often they may not be academically rigorous, but they are anecdotally बहुत कुछ है. So it's not that they're bad, but the net effect is very little. Net effect is very little. If those things, what they promise, those books, what they promise, if they actually deliver, our lives would be, मतलब सब सुनहरा हो जाता. Our lives would become golden. But नहीं हो रहा. Maybe some change, not much. Why not? That is the question. Why not? For this again, I will go to a psychologist. His name is Jonathan Haidt, H-A-I-D-T. He's quite popular these days. He's coming again. At one time he was popular, then he disappeared. He's not so well known. Recently, last few months, he's been talking about the mental health crisis in US universities. 30% of students have reported mental illness in US universities. 30%, one third. One out of three. 30%. Those who beat US universities don't know the condition there. So, but now there was a book which he wrote long ago, Happiness Hypothesis. There, first of all, he takes up this question: why is it so difficult to change ourselves? We read so many things, attend so many lectures, but then change नहीं आ रहा है, apply नहीं कर पा रहे, समझ भी जाते हैं. Not only समझ जाते हैं, we also agree. I want to do it. I understand it. I also want to do it. लेकिन कर नहीं पाते. Why not? So he gets an idea from the Upanishads and he explains it. He says, imagine a person who's riding an elephant, Mahut. Now he wants to control the elephant. You go to the right, go to the left, go there. If the elephant obeys it, the Mahut usko direction दिखा रहा है, it's good. If the elephant does not obey it, then the Mahut cannot do anything because the elephant is much stronger than the Mahut. Elephant is much more strong. Now the elephant here is our body mind, and the mouth is like the intellect. Our intellect is the one which goes to retreats like this, reads books, reads positive psychology, and gets convinced. Self-confidence बढ़ाना है. I must live consciously, and I must be, accept my defects and so on and so forth, have a purpose and follow it up. I have to do that. I'm convinced. But TED Talk सुन लिया, and gets convinced with the latest new idea. Attend some retreat, motivational speaker gets convinced. I must change my life in this way. But who is convinced? Jonathan Haidt said, who is convinced? Mouth. Your intellect, buddhi, not the elephant. I get convinced. ठीक बोलते हैं. One sadhu said, जो उदय होती सूर्य को नहीं देखता है, उसका जीवन में महात्मा जी कभी ज्ञान का सूर्य उदय नहीं होगा. The one who does not see the rising sun in the morning will never have the sun of knowledge will not rise in the morning. So basically get up early in the morning. Right? I'm convinced I have to get up early in the morning. Next morning, जब उठने के time has come to get up, alarm rings. I want to get up. Body will say, no. आपने हमसे पूछा था. I don't want to get up. I feel sleepy. और एक कंबल रजाई के अंदर बहुत है, it's warm and nice. Outside it is cold. Why should I get up? तुम उठो, तुम जाओ अपना काम करो, I will sleep here. You have not consulted me. तो हमारे एक बहुत मजेदार महाराज थे. बच्चे तो बदमाशी करते ही रहते हैं, नटखट हैं. One boy had done something mischievous. फिर जाके पकड़ा गया तो एकदम पूरा महाराज माफ कर दीजिए. तो स्वामी जी वो बोले, Did you consult me before insulting me? कंसल्ट करके इंसल्ट करते तभी माफ कर देते. आप कंसल्ट नहीं किए हैं, आप तो पहले ही इंसल्ट किए. So you have done something wrong. So have you consulted the body before saying that I have decided routine बनानी है, I have to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning? Body को पूछा था कभी? No. So the elephant has to be, the work has to be done by the elephant. But elephant does not listen to lecture. Elephant does not attend when they see YouTube talks. Elephant will not. Elephant is not convinced by positive psychology. What does the elephant listen? Yeah, somehow ऐसा नहीं है. Somehow so many people doing it. Why can't you do it? Why? What does the elephant listen to? This is the question about application. What does the elephant listen to? Habits. Elephant listens to training. Elephant को क्या कहा जाता है? Training कहा जाता है. What is the essence of training?
Doing the same thing.
Repetition. Yes, correct. Absolutely. हम सब जानते हैं. Repetition. The body listens to training. Even the lower mind listens to training. Habit. Habit is formed how? Repetition. The essence of training is not lecture, YouTube lecture. मेरा playlist में तो नहीं है ये. Playlist is for you, the intellect. But for body and mind, repetition is important. Practice is important. Habit is ultimately. जो habit है वो आसान है. जो habit नहीं है वो difficult है. अब habit बनाने के लिए क्या चाहिए? एक word, repetition. And that repetition, of course, it has to be systematic, consistent. उसका routine बनाना है, उसके लिए there are coaches, many things you can take the help, but basically it is repetition. So that's the answer to your question. Practical कब होता है, practical कब नहीं होता है? When the idea is followed by repetition, by practice. Systematic practice, scientific practice is better. And when idea is not followed by practice, then it remains ineffective. Eric Fromm, who was a very great psychoanalyst, he said, insight separated from practice remains ineffective. Insight separated from life remains ineffective. हम कुछ समझ गए, लेकिन I don't do anything about it. कुछ फायदा नहीं होगा. It will be like nice knowledge. You can give a lecture like me. Then next, we should go to somebody who has not asked you. This lady, you asked a question earlier.
Namaste, Swami. My name is Devkanya. My question.
You speak in the microphone.
Hello. Yeah. Namaste. My name is Devkanya. And my question to you is: you told you have to have faith on yourself.
Yes.
So there are times I am not able to maintain consistency in my life. Like sometimes I feel like I have to stay motivated, stay positive. But there are times I feel very negative about life. Like what's my purpose? I lose faith. I have tried writing notes and maintaining a routine, but I fail multiple times. So how do I maintain this consistency?
देखो, consistency. The next moment you have got choice. But we just discussed earlier. So I might get a wave of negativity in my life. People get it. Many people get it. Some are more prone to it than others. But next moment, consciously I can change my thought one moment at least. Then moment to moment you change it. And as you do that, your confidence in yourself will increase.
Another question is
Speak in the microphone.
Yeah, my next question is you are guiding us so much. So how do I keep it in my mind regularly and make it a habit in the long run?
Take notes and immediately put it into practice. Start doing some stuff. Like for example, decision, next movement. What will I think? How will I say? What will I say in this? Don't overanalyze yourself, but in general, take charge of your life because you have the option of taking charge at least for one moment, for 1 minute. That will start. That thing about this. Make a small change, and you know in what area you can make a change. You know better than anybody else. What change will give maximum benefit right now? Small change there. See what happens. अच्छा भूल गए कुछ नहीं किया, then you feel regret. अच्छा इतना सुन के आया and heard so many things and didn't do anything. The moment you feel that, do something. Don't waste time regretting. Then one more person. Where is the microphone? This side somebody. Wait. This side somebody should get a chance. Yes. And then we'll come to you and we'll stop after that. Next point.
Namaste, Swamiji. My questions are twofold. Let me just. Okay. So, in most of my student life,
Tell us your name.
my name is Nilati. In most of my student life, I have spent under the Holy Trio. So I spent with I have been in hostel for a long time. Now, I have been in a job for last 2 years, and like it's a completely different life for me because I stay alone and I do not have any friends there. Now the problem is that most of my early part of my life I have spent with a lot of people. Now I do not have anyone. Now I have accepted it that I have to continue my life in this way. But in this way also, how do I find solitude and love myself in a way that I don't feel too alone or
Right. There's a difference between solitude and loneliness. So you have stayed, especially in a hostel. I know what you mean because I joined the Ramakrishna Mission in Ramakrishna Mission Vidyapit Yoga. So I know the Ramakrishna Mission model of school, hostel, and the kind of bond the students form. It's in one way it's good, in one way it's not so good because you miss it afterwards. The kind of friendship for many years. When those little kids, boys, they come to the hostel, age of 10, they miss their parents very much. They will cry and all. By the time they are in class 10, घर जाना है, क्या करेंगे महाराज जी घर जाके? So all the friends are here, your whole life is here. So that's the transformation that takes place. But afterwards you miss it. When you go into university or especially when you go into job, you start missing it. So difference between solitude and loneliness. One can feel lonely in a crowd also. You feel nobody is there. See, you are in an organization. There are colleagues. There are people all around you. Colleagues, clients, people are there. But you still feel lonely. Because you don't feel related to any of these people. And that's the problem. So, two things I'll tell you. One funny and one serious. Both I had with little children, this discussion I had. The funny one was that in that school, we had a teacher. आपको पता है concept वो gap, temporary teacher or the substitute teacher. So one teacher was there who was very confident. He said any subject, जो भी subject हमको दो, I will teach that. Okay, कोई subject I will not name the first person. So once he was not an English teacher. He was sent to teach English in class 7 or class 8. CBSE school. There is a poem, William Wordsworth, I think, Solitary Reaper. We all studied it still now in the syllabus. So he went to the class and we were sitting downstairs in the teacher's common room. I was also there. Then suddenly in the middle of the class, this gentleman came to the teacher's common room, covered with chalk dust, looking very disturbed. Quickly he went and he saw something, then he ran back to the class. After the class was over, we are all very curious. What happened? He said, "Sir, what happened? You went to class and then came out and then he ran back again." I said, "Arey, big crisis. Kya hua?" One of the boys, solitary reaper is being taught. One of the boys stood up and asked, "Sir, what is the meaning of solitude?" He said, "Altitude I've heard. Altitude I've heard. Attitude I've heard. Solitude kya hota?" And then I said, "Good question. Keep standing. Don't forget." When he ran down to the dictionary, he saw the dictionary in the back of the So your solitude kya hota? Yeah. Solitude is in the middle of a crowd, and when you are absolutely alone, you will be happy by yourself. You get peace. You're not disturbed by a crowd, but you don't want a crowd also. In both cases, you're happy. This sadhu I met in Gangotri, very interesting character. Uh, have you seen the movie Lord of the Rings? How many have seen? Some of you have seen. There was a magician in that movie. Long beard, Gandalf, white hair, long beard. I remember I had read the book when I was a kid, Tolkien's book, and at that time I thought, इसको कोई movie बनाए तो बहुत अच्छा होगा. And then they made beautiful movies afterwards. It's a long beard. So this sadhu, his name was Brahma Chaitanya. So he had this long white beard. He was a Punjabi, tall and powerfully built man, long white hair and white dress. He looked exactly like Gandalf. Longer beard. And he would stay there all year long. I had gone to Gangotri only in summer, but this was a sadhu who stayed for 40, 50 years of his life. Last 50 years of his life, he stayed 40 years of his life. He stayed there year round, never came back again. So, and he was very popular. Kids used to love him because of that, like he looked like that. I remember in front of me, one little boy had come. Kids means Tirtha Yatri jo jate hain. Some are there who go every year. So the kids come every year and see the same sadhu. So they form the friendship with him. So this little boy is standing in front of us and telling that sadhu, saying his hair was so long he would tie it up in the pink bundle. The little boy was fascinated with that. He said, "आप इससे क्या करते हैं? टीटी खेलते हैं?" And the sadhu was like, "But भागो यहाँ से." And I said, "Maharaj, up in the middle of these people are there. They have come to see you. Many people come to see you. I have also come to see you. They are happy with all of us. Jane mein, in the winter, deep winter, there is snow up to your knees. Nobody around. For days and weeks, you may not see another human face also. In that time, for 4, 5 months, 6 months, how do you live then?" And his answer, I will tell you his answer. You are happy now, but तब क्या करते हैं? He says, "अरे महात्मा जी, अब मैं मजे में हूँ, अब तब और भी मजे में रहता हूँ." See, I am happy now, and then there is nobody happy. Our condition is just the opposite. People are there troubled by all these people. Oh, I wish I could go to mountain and stay. So go and mountain and stay. I don't like anything there. Nobody what to do. Boring. So be happy within. Find peace within, and then we look for being at peace with everybody. When you are in the office, when you are in the family, when you are alone also. Do not depend upon others for your peace of mind. Then you will find peace of mind in the company of others, without the company of others also. And last question. And then we'll take it later.
Maharajji, my name is Jenny. So could you please expand a bit on the sixth pillar? What exactly is personal integrity?
Personal integrity is that at the minimum, within my eyes also, I should not be see myself as dishonest. This is about self-esteem and self-confidence. Nobody may know. But if I consider myself as a dishonest person, that I am not living up to standards of honesty, that I will not have respect for myself. अंदर से कोई ना जाने मैं तो जानता हूँ मैं क्या हूँ. Then I will not have respect for myself. If I do not have respect for myself, confidence on myself will not be there. But if I have respect for myself, if I am honest to myself, then I will have esteem. I can respect myself, and then confidence can be built on that. I should not be in a position where I am accused. My mind is accusing myself. अगर हो रहा है, it can happen in life. Life is complicated. It can happen. And try to change the situation, get out of that situation as soon as possible. करना चाहिए for our own mental health and for the well-being of others also. Good. Now let me go into the second topic, which I will talk about for next 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Then we take some more questions. Next, Swami Vivekananda said, power of concentration. Confidence is great, but to do something in this world, you need power. Shakti chahiye. And that power comes from concentration. So Vivekananda said the difference between a great person and an ordinary person lies in the degree of concentration. I used to think, bus concentration mein fark ho gaya between a great scientist and an ordinary person. There are other things also. Why just concentration? I read something, von Neumann, who was maybe one of the greatest scientists of the 20th century, John von Neumann. Some regarded him as greater than Einstein. Einstein had great path-breaking discoveries, no doubt, but Neumann's series of contributions, a vast series of contributions. So in his biographical sketch, I read in one place the writer says that von Neumann was convinced that he could crack any problem by the power of the concentration of his mind. So Neumann is convinced, the greatest of scientists of our time, and I have seen this in my life also. Those who are exceptional scholars, in see, students, monks, exceptional at anything, music, academics, work, wherever, they have the power of concentration. They focus, they are able to focus and focus tremendously, at least for a while. This power of concentration, Vivekananda said, if you develop it. Vivekananda said, if I had to do my education all over again, I would develop the power of the mind to focus and the power of attachment and detachment. Where I can concentrate, take it up, concentrate and focus elsewhere. And then I would gather knowledge actually. This tremendous power of concentration. What is it and how to develop it? How to develop it in our lives. This is another area where positive psychology has done a lot of work. Um, there is this who developed the idea of emotional intelligence, Daniel Goleman. Daniel Goleman. EQ, we've heard the term. But another book is written recently is called Focus. And he says in this day and age, we have become very distracted. The importance of focus has increased now. And the distraction has increased many times now. Thanks to this. Everybody has distraction, the superpower of distraction in the pocket. Yeah, they're carrying it around. This. Most of us are addicted. No, I'm not addicted. It's a soft addiction. You know what soft addiction is? That if you don't look at your phone, if you keep your phone away, shut it down, you feel slightly uneasy. So listening to something is missing. You feel that kind of uneasiness. That is addiction. Almost all of us have got it, and this has been done deliberately. There was a documentary, Social Dilemma. Social Dilemma, yes. I saw it last year, the year before last. It was a big raid on university campuses at that in USA, Columbia and NYU. Kids were seeing it. They were saying that we will boycott social media. Social media is not worried about it. They know they cannot boycott. They are addicted about it. So they said that these phones, they are designed in such a way to addict you. अगर hard addiction हो जाए like drugs, government will take action. They will ban it but the soft addiction will come into without anybody's notice. You will be addicted to using the phone, but it will not be a hard addiction. Why are they doing it? How are they doing it? They do it by training our minds. Have you noticed? The phone is sometimes it will do tung, sometimes it will vibration, sometimes this message has come, something from WhatsApp, something from message, something from Twitter or X. All these things are coming. 99.9% useless. Way forward way that. Useless. But the reason that these alerts are given, which is psychology, let's say. And psychology is based on the gambling machines of Las Vegas. Las Vegas, the gambling was here. And they want you to be addicted to their gambling. Do you know how they get us addicted to anything, especially gambling? So उसका psychology बहुत बढ़िया है. They say that if you gamble on that machine, you may not win, but you may win. If you win all the time, you'll be bored. If you lose all the time, you'll be disappointed. You'll give it up. But you may win sometimes. पैसा लगाओ, you may get multiple time of that back. But when? You never know. Random. Because it's random and there is a possibility you will win. Our psychology has said some people more they get hooked much more easily. They keep on repeating. One more time, one more time, one more time. Let me see, something will come. So that once in a while win gives you the cue to keep trying again and again until you get that win again. Similarly, they said, can we do this for phone? How? Some message will be given, some tone sound will come, some vibration will come. You look. Once in a while, it may be interesting and useful. So you look, and when you keep looking, each time you look at it, the phone it makes a movement, some little sound, and you look at the phone, the same neurochemicals which are involved in addicting you to gambling, those same neurochemicals kick in. They are found in the brain. The same dopamine, serotonin will be secreted, and this will get a little bit of sense of well-being. Also opposite, it makes a slight tung sound, something has come. You don't look at it, you feel uneasy. कुछ है नहीं, you know कुछ भी नहीं है उसमें, but देखना है एक second के. Why will they do this? So we get addicted. Throughout the day, how many times you're looking at the phone? Imagine those who are not, you're all young, we know older people, landline, you don't know what it is. क्या चीज़ है? Landline. Did we ever spend time with the landline? No. Did everybody carry around landline in the house? No. When it rang, we went to answer. It was a very boring piece of equipment. But this is not a boring piece of equipment. Very interesting piece of equipment. And then we are addicted to it. Why we are doing this? Because money. The more we call it attention economy. So internet is full of stuff. You cannot give more content and attract people. Because too much content is there. What will you get? So you have to addict people to using it. So that they come again and again and you will get advertisement revenue. You understand that much more than me. So that is the idea of social dilemma. It destroys. So why am I saying this? It destroys our power of focus. It destroys our power of attention. It damages our concentration. On this side, this is a worldwide phenomenon, social media, especially in India. I think WhatsApp is far more popular here than in US. And WhatsApp, bulk of it is in the morning, some uncle will send you forward. आपकी भलाई के लिए many inspiring messages. तो स्वामी जी क्या पॉजिटिव बात बोलेंगे? In the morning मेरा WhatsApp में कितना पता है? So it's useless, but it is very distracting. And this problem of distraction, Daniel Goleman says, it's a worldwide phenomenon. On the other side, concentration has become even more important. Focus has become even more important. I'm quoting from another book, Deep Work, Cal Newport, who is a professor himself. Cal Newport's Deep Work. I was fascinated by that book. He said, in this day and age, we are connected, globally connected. And therefore, the importance of deep work, high quality work, significantly different work, that has become many times more. He gave an example. He said, music, he gave the example of music, that when we were young, before internet came along, before the social media and all this came along, internet especially, music was, those who are old enough, they will recall, cassette tape मिलती थी. I've also seen. हमारे शहर के जो पास वाले मोहल्ले में दुकान थी, we used to go there and purchase whatever cassette had come, we purchase. That was the way of getting music. You had to pay money and get a tape, and you had a tape recorder, and to listen to that, and that is the way to listen to music. उसके बाद latest technology आया, Walkman, with little players you can put in your pocket and put headphone. Alright. There, what happened was, it was a distributed market. जहाँ जो available है, people used to go and purchase that and listen to it. But now it is not like that. Now it is across the world. Everybody can access the same music and same musicians, same singers, same top 10 hits. Everybody can access. Now you have limited time. Everybody wants the best. So जो एक दो चीज popular हो गया, everybody will go there. Earlier, each singer would get 1,000, 10,000, 100,000 people listening to them. Now what is happening is the most popular will get 1 billion views. You've seen some songs that 1 billion views, 100 million views. Others, 1,000, 10,000. Is it true that one singer's song is a million times better than another person's song? Cannot be. Can one person's song be 1,000 times better than another person's song? It cannot be. It can be 5 times or 10 times better. If you can make your work little better than others, your success will be 1,000 times more than others. Then how can you make your work little better than others? For that, concentration is necessary. That's what he calls deep work. The same technology, which has at the same time destroyed our power of concentration, or has attacked our power of attention, same technology gives tremendous value to attention and concentration. You must cut everything aside and focus on your work. Music, writing, science, whatever, performance, whatever you're doing. Focus on it, make it deep work. Then only your success will be, and your success will be tremendous compared to others. So this insight, you put these two together, social dilemma on one side and deep work on the other, You see the importance of concentration. Now, let me just give some practical advice from positive psychology. Swami Vivekananda said, do whatever you're doing with the fullest possible attention. What is the secret of concentration? Some will say, after Babaji meditation sikhayenge. No. Swami Vivekananda said, do whatever you're doing with the fullest possible attention. जो भी करना है, आप यहाँ बैठे हैं सुन रहे हैं, do it with the fullest possible attention. आप खेल रहे हैं, do it with the fullest possible attention. अच्छा आप social media में कुछ देख रहे हैं, do it with the fullest possible attention. Why? Vivekananda answers that also. Because he says, remember, you have only one mind. You have only one mind. And here I am reminded again of Swami Sarvapriyananda. He was addressing a group of college students much like this. So he was saying, you have only one mind. He said, those boys here who shave, if you take the pencil and you use your razor, that means the double-edged razor, to sharpen your pencil, then you try to shave with that, will you be able to shave? The boy said, no. Why? Because the blade has become blunt. Blade has become blunt. Why has it become blunt? Remember, it's the same blade. You're using it for some subtle work, fine work. If you use it for some gross purpose, it will damage the instrument. So you have only one mind. If you train it to distraction, if you train it to wavering attention, somebody said flickering mind. If you train it to be a flickering mind, when you need concentration, it will not give concentration. If you train the same mind to concentration, whatever you're doing, I'm as a social media, you cannot avoid it. When you train it to concentration, what will happen is, whatever you're doing, पढ़ाई कर रहे हो, काम कर रहे हो, meditation कर रहे हो, social media कर रहे हो, everywhere you will be fully concentrated. I'm saying this because I've seen such people. I have a friend who was IIT JEE All India ranked second. And what the unique thing about him is, many things are unique. He became a monk later on, a friend of mine. The unique thing I noticed about him is his concentration. Tremendous concentration. उनके लिए natural. It's not that he developed it slowly, but it's natural. But we can all, maybe not to that level, but we can all develop it to some level. Wherever we are, we can make it better. This I've seen everywhere. One professor, he wrote a book, The Second Kind of Impossible. At Harvard University, the book launch was there. So Harvard University came out that many scholars come in different subjects and they want to launch their book at Harvard first. So you can hear many wonderful talks, lectures, on whatever subject interests you. This one was on physics. Not that I understood much, it was about crystals. The name of the book was The Second Kind of Impossible. And this professor, he gave a talk on that book. I asked a question about concentration. I asked him, but sir, you have worked with cutting edge, people who are working at the cutting edge of your field. You have worked with Nobel laureates or top professors and researchers in your field. What is the one common denominator of success that you have seen among them? And he said, did you not hear what I said? The last 20, 30 years, he went on pursuing one type of crystal. He says, when I take up a research project, standing in front of the auditorium, the wall here. When I take up a research project, to find an answer to my question, I am willing to go through that wall also. That kind of tremendous, uncompromising focus. कितने साल तक? 1, 2, 3 साल नहीं. It will take 10 years, 15 years. Until इसका हल जब तक नहीं निकलेगा, I will focus and pursue it to the exclusion of everything else. It's not that we don't have it. In fact, India has the most talented pool of manpower, and I've seen, especially in our elite institutions, there are many, many, many boys and girls with this power of focus. That's the reason they get into those institutions. I went to an engineering college once. I was telling the kids there, "Fuck." I said, I did not see much difference between you and IIT Delhi, IIT Kanpur. Some good facilities because private engineering, but good facilities. They are paying good money also. So good facilities. And the professors also qualified. First year, I said, I saw in one of the IITs, day in and day out, library, Brahma, computer department, those days there computer departments, computer department, it was full. People were waiting in line for their chance. और आपके कॉलेज में अभी हम गए थे आपके कंप्यूटर डिपार्टमेंट ऑल शाइनी मशीन ऑल एम्प्टी I asked the professor आप अलाउ नहीं करते हैं इधर उनको शाम को हाँ करते तो है, where are the students? वो तो घूमने चले गए. This is the difference. This is the difference. Americans have a saying, big shot कहते हैं, big shot. Big shot is a little shot who keeps shooting. So that persistence is very important. Now, the core idea I will tell you, which we can take away from positive psychology, and then open it for questions. Actually, practically, how to implement this. Implement what? To do whatever you're doing with the fullest possible attention. This is drawn from the book Flow, F-L-O-W, Flow, classic book now. Mihai Csikszentmihalyi wrote that book, he passed away just 1 or 2 years ago. He spent his whole life studying concentration, focus. Q, because he wanted to know what is the secret of happiness. And he found that people are happiest when they are in a state of flow, when they are in a state of concentration. What do you mean flow? जो यहाँ कोई musical instrument बजाता है, those who play sports in some sense, in some game or something, they know the secret of flow or they have felt it. कभी कभी आप तबला बजाते हैं suppose और गिटार बजाते हैं. Sometimes it flows. Sometimes, not always. कभी बहुत मेहनत करके कर रहे हैं, that's not flow. कभी मेहनत नहीं कर रहे, गलतियां हो रही हैं, वो भी flow नहीं. कभी हो रहा है एकदम perfectly हो रहा है, but yet it feels effortless for a while. There are some characteristics. He has given 10 characteristics of flow. एक is it is a state of intense absorption attention. कभी flow relaxed होके नहीं आएगा. Intense absorption attention. Second, time distortion. बहुत समय चला जा रहा है, you don't feel it. Third, you're doing with tremendous attention, but it feels effortless. At that moment, it feels effortless. इसको हिंदी में कहते हैं ठीक ठीक बैठ रहा है. Only those who are playing musical instruments or some sports, sometimes they felt this feeling. But this can happen in every field. And not only that, if you feel that flow, you will remember it. Because it's a very nice moment, very fine moment in your life. And so Mihai Csikszentmihalyi said some of the best moments of our life are when we are absorbed with total concentration on a doable task which enriches us. तो concentration video game खेल के भी हो सकता है, मोबाइल में भी concentration हो सकता है, but it's not flow, it's not enriching you. So now, how to attain this flow state, which is basically you're asking how to be fully concentrated. Is there some technique here? He said our capacity to focus or concentrate is limited. The human mind has a limited capacity to process information. And he called it, he said it's approximately 120 or 140 bits per second. Bits are the computer which you, information, unit of information is the bit. 140 bits per second, something like that. So psychological capacity to consciously process information. वो हमारा cognitive bandwidth है. And then he said, what is concentration? Out of those 140 bits per second, how much can you put on your object of concentration? So, for example, he said to listen to me, to listen to one person, you need 40 bits per second. But that leaves 60 or 80 bits per second free. 20-30 bits per second is always on your body. You have some sense of existence वो रहता है. बाकी का जो free bandwidth रहता है, you have to engage it. That's why 40 or 60 bits per second to listen to one person. If two persons speak to you, इतना मुश्किल हो जाता है. You get very irritated. It's difficult. You can still understand, but it's very, you feel over pressurized. If three persons speak to you continuously, it's impossible. You can't make out. It goes beyond your cognitive capacity. Now, concentration is out of those 140 bits per second, can I put 80, 90, 100 bits per second on this book which I am doing, this assignment which I am doing, this musical instrument which I am playing, this game of tennis or badminton which I am playing? Can I do that? If you do that, that is concentration. If you cannot do that, that is distraction. Doing that and holding it there. कैसे करेंगे उसको? He says flow is the ideal state. What is flow? On one side is challenge, other side is your skill. Imagine you're playing a great game of badminton. तो पहले जो शुरू कर रहा है, just to return one serve is a big thing. Just to use the racket and return the shuttlecock is a big challenge. वही challenging है. Once you start doing that, after some time that becomes boring because your skill has increased above the challenge. Next, you must increase the challenge. Play a game. Somebody will play against you. तब वो challenge बढ़ जाता है. It becomes equal to your skill. Then you start working very hard. If you're playing a game against a champion, challenge is too high, skill is too low. It will be anxiety, fear, tension, nervousness. If your skill is too high, you're playing against a kid. You are far better than that. Then your skill is too high, challenge is too low. You'll be bored. Concentration कब आएगा? When all your attention, you know you can do it, but you need all your skill, all your attention for this time. So challenge and skill must be balanced. Challenge and skill must be balanced. Then you get concentration. This is the secret. कोई भी काम में देखो, the work that you're doing, if you feel tense about it, then challenge is more than your usual level of capacity. Then what do? Break down the challenge if possible into modules. जी इतनी मोटी सी बुक है हमारे महाराज एकदम कंप्यूटर एक्सपर्ट तो वो पढ़ा रहे थे कंप्यूटर साइंस स्टूडेंट्स को तो स्टूडेंट आके हमको one of the students is telling me so that Swami is a genius. The student came and told me देखिए तो हम उनसे बोले एक चीज पूछे वो बोले किताब में पढ़ लो किताब इतनी 800 पेज की किताब है for him it is fine 800 पेज की किताब पढ़ लो he will do it for the Swami but his body it is too much 800 pages कैसे पढ़ लो so break it down into modules what you can handle now what you can handle next then your anxiety level will be reduced your challenge will be up to come down to the level of your skill if your skill is far beyond your challenge increase the challenge maybe at the speed at which you do the work or the complexity of the challenge whatever it is you know what to do increase it when you come to the challenge versus skill balance you will get flow after some time this is the secret अब देखो कहाँ जहाँ आप श्योरली देखोगे जहाँ डिस्ट्रैक्शन हो रहा है फॉर एग्जाम्पल क्लासिक एग्जाम्पल पढ़ रहे हैं Maharaj, I'm looking at the page for half an hour. What I read after half an hour is asked, I can't say. Your mind has gone all over the world. What has happened? Your ability is far more than the challenge. Book देखना is मेरा challenge है देखना पढ़ना. 80% of my cognitive capacity is free. वो free है मतलब घूमता रहेगा. कल क्या होगा इसके बाद क्या करेंगे अच्छा फोन थोड़ा देख लें कुछ आया कि नहीं that mind is free it घूमता रहेगा so this will be you will not focus on this then how to what to do next you want to increase concentration क्या करना चाहिए increase the challenge how you increase the challenge of reading it's called active reading don't look at the page like that do underlining take notes stop once in a while revise mentally क्या पढ़ा मैंने in last 2 pages if it's your own book you can take extensive notes Ranganathan ji I mentioned I was a librarian in the Vellore Mutt training center many of the books from Swami Ranganathan ji were there which Maharaj had read 20 40 50 60 years ago all the books date on which started date on which finished extensively underlined annotated commented कहीं पर क्वेश्चन मार्क है कहीं पर डिसएग्रीमेंट है कहीं पर इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट्स आर नोटेड कहीं पर क्रॉस रेफरेंस विद अनदर बुक how much is engaging with that book it's like he's talking with that author each book like that so this is called active reading you're increasing the challenge so okay so this is the secret is flow is a function concentration is a function of challenge and skill increase your skill increase your challenge when the balance comes you will get flow skill increase करना उतना आसान नहीं capacity skill whatever it is you can only slowly build up capacity so you must manage the challenge all right. Questions we take up a few questions those are not asked earlier पीछे से ध्यान दीजिए yes
Pranam Sahibji.
yes
So when one reads Swami Vivekananda, the canvas of thinking becomes larger than life. But when one returns to one's realities, So even after excelling, say academically or otherwise, there is some void within. You know, I feel inconsequential in the larger scheme of things.
Yes.
And even if I am as a student, I feel like I'm ultimately in a rat race, and therefore, even if I excel, I'm a rat.
Yes.
So, how to reconcile, to put it that way, the metaphysical and the mundane?
Absolutely. What's your name?
Komal. I'm from Miranda House College.
Good question. Our president of our organization, Swami Sarvapriyananda, passed away just now, at the age of 94-95. तो उनके लाइफ में पढ़ रहे थे how he became a monk. So he used to be a young person studying and working in Mumbai. शाम को वो टहलने जाते थे on the beach near the Arabian Sea. There was a big rock on which he would sit. And he said this thought struck him, I'm so small and inconsequential. This universe is so vast. So many people, I'm nothing in this. And then from within came another voice, which saying that no, that which is within you, the spirit, is vaster than all of this. There is something higher or greater within us, which is greater than this physical universe also. That is the awakening of the spirit. In that is all fulfillment, peace. Let me put it in Sri Ramakrishna's words. He said, if you have a string of zeros, still zero. 1 0, 2 0, 3 0, still zero. But if you put 1, every zero will get value. 1 0 is 10, 2 zeros 100, 3 zeros 1000, and so on. Now he's not saying what is that 1. But 1 is important. That 1, of course, he means spirituality. What kind of spirituality? Any kind of spirituality. वो ध्यान से हो, भक्ति से हो, ज्ञान से हो, सेवा से हो. The 4 yogas, karma yoga, bhakti yoga, raj yoga, jnana yoga. This is an important question. Even after getting lot of confidence, very self-confident, even after having tremendous concentration, I have met such people. Basically, asur, dana. You can become a demon. You can become a demon. Demons have tremendous confidence, have tremendous power of concentration also. That's why the third point which I mentioned, I will not talk about it today, but always to make a human being, to transform a demon into a human being into a devta, the power of service, of expansion. Expansion is life, contraction is death. You include others in your life also. Your life must be useful for others. So, yes, this is essential. What we must take away about concentration, about get relationships, about self-confidence, you can learn elsewhere also. But the one thing that this place can give you, ashram can give you, is that one which you put before the zero. The spirituality. In any form, in any religion. If you have that feeling, I think most people have come here because you have somewhere. We have that feeling. That's why they have come here. So we are very blessed. Many people don't have that feeling. Many people don't have it. If you have it, feeling means interest in spirituality. किसी को भक्ति में इंटरेस्ट है, किसी को मेडिटेशन में इंटरेस्ट है, किसी को वेदांत में ज्ञान में इंटरेस्ट है, और किसी को they want an active life of doing good to a large number of people. Or some have interest in all of these. You are blessed. You are God. This question shows that you have an awakening of the spiritual potential. So my answer to you is, if you want to fill up that void, in addition to your academics, your family life, your job, right now college, you must have spirituality in your life. And if you ask, be more specific. Tell me what you ought to do. Serve, worship, meditate, inquire. 4 yogas. I was telling a little kid just a couple of days ago. Yeah, 4 yogas of Vivekananda can explain without any religion, God, and all that. All right. Without God, it's difficult, of course, but anyway, 4 yogas. What to do and what not to do. For your putting that one, filling up that void. What to do and what not to do. Selfless, not selfish. That's one. Yoga karma yoga. Then concentration, not distraction. Concentration, not distraction. Ye ho gaya raj yoga. Then devotion, not desire. Ye ho gaya bhakti yoga. Both are opposites of each other. एक हो गया तो दूसरा कम पड़ जाएगा. Same spectrum. You're moving the slider on the same spectrum. It's the same force. And finally, self-knowledge. Who am I? Rather than other knowledge. Other knowledge to मिलता ही रहेगा. Whole life you're engaged with the other. Turn inwards and take a look at yourself. Roman? These are the 4 things, 4 yogas. This is what is to be done to fill up the void within.
So,
We'll take these 2 questions here and then we'll wrap up. You will also have to
Pranam, Swamiji Maharaj. My name is Shobh. We just briefly talked about Karma Yoga, which is what I wanted to ask about its application, what it really means, and if it in some way coincides with the principles that we talked about. Because it was only a few months back I was very briefly reading through Swamiji's Karma Yoga, and it was just a very small excerpt. But I wanted to understand what it means in day-to-day meaning.
Right. It's a very important thing, and when Maharaj was saying, perhaps the most important contribution of Swami Vivekananda to the world of spirituality. Meditation is a very ancient thing. Bhakti, Vishwas in God, is a very ancient thing. Even Vedanta, who am I? It's very ancient, goes back to the Upanishads. Karma Yoga, it has not been emphasized enough. Gita mein. In this day and age, Swami Vivekananda said, what about our day-to-day life? बाकी सब तो प्राइवेट स्पिरिचुअलिटी है. आप भक्ति करोगे दैट इज योर पूजा घर, योर मंदिर. आप ध्यान करोगे मेडिटेशन हॉल, विपासना रिट्रीट, आप इसमें चले जाओ हिमालय में, दैट इज योर मेडिटेशन. यू कट ऑफ द होल वर्ल्ड. मेडिटेशन यू हैव टू कट ऑफ द होल वर्ल्ड. आप ज्ञान विचार करोगे, हु एम आई, दैट मींस यू आर लीविंग आउट योर इंक्वायरिंग इनटू योरसेल्फ. But karma yoga is the only one which is constantly in contact with the world. How to make that spiritual? If you don't make that spiritual, baki spirituality collapse kar jayegi, will sabotage. Because when there is a difference between your life and spirituality. Your life is school, college, job, relationships, your personal life, office life, so community life. That's your life. अब बोला जा रहा है अलग से आप मेडिटेशन करो, भक्ति करो, वेदांत की चर्चा करो, सब प्राइवेट हो गया. It has nothing to do with the rest of life. इसमें क्या होगा? Both sides will suffer. Your life takes up so much energy. Office, school, job, house. It takes up so much time, so much energy. How much time is left for meditation, for study, and all of that? Once in a while, you can come for a retreat like this. Otherwise, whole of life is the whole week, whole month, whole year, something else you are doing. And opposite, if you remove spirituality from your life, what will happen is your job, your family, like you're saying, a void will come. Ultimately meaningless. What's the point of it all? If you succeed, so what? If you fail also, so what? In the vast ocean of time, it's all will be lost. Within a few years, everybody will forget everything. So what is the point of the life without spirituality? That is the one which will give value to all of this. So karma yoga is that which bridges this gap. Your job will continue, your studies will continue, your family life will continue. How to spiritualize that? So every work that you are doing, you can offer to God as worship, puja. It can become bhakti. Every work that we are doing, we can use it as an occasion to develop our power of concentration. It can become dhyan. Do whatever you're doing with the fullest possible attention. Vivekananda said, flow, apply flow, your concentration will improve. Do whatever you're doing with the knowledge that the same Brahman is appearing in all these ways. As Ramakrishna said, if you close your eyes, you find God. If you open eyes, there's no God. What kind of God is that? It must be just that God which you find in Samadhi. It must be this here. It must be that one only. Otherwise, it's a limited God. If you find God only in Samadhi and nowhere else, meditation, Samadhi, and Sadhu said, "Lo, apne pyare ko Samadhi ke jail khane mein band kar diya." Your pyara, the Lord of your life, Krishna, Rama, whatever it is, must be everywhere else. So you can serve the Lord through your work. Swami Vivekananda says, this is Karma Yoga. The secret of Karma Yoga is The work which we were doing for little things in the world, we are doing it for money, for recognition, for enjoyment in the world. For that we were doing the work. Now do that same work. You still bonus, you will get recognition, money, all that will get bonus. Nobody will take that away from you. But now your internal attitude is, I am doing that work as worship of God. This is the essence of Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga by Swami Vivekananda is a very powerful book. It's actually first published in New York. And when the first edition was published during his time, his lifetime, I've seen one copy in Hollywood, which is signature of Swami Vivekananda. He presented it to somebody. It's in the archive there. Karma Yoga is Swami Vivekananda's unique contribution to spirituality in this day and age. Last two questions.
Thank you.
Two ladies here. This lady and the gentleman there. Keep your hands raised. You must make yourself visible. Hath large gentleman this thing. Lady there and then a gentleman.
My name is Tanya.
Tanya, yes.
And
You asked a question earlier. You asked it.
so actually, I've been following your videos since COVID times, and that has actually helped me the whole philosophy of karma to transition from my regular corporate job to actually finding my purpose. So I've been able to kind of study sustainable business management and kind of integrate my previous knowledge in sustainable like business management with the principles of social and environmental sustainability. So I've been able to understand that we need to integrate spirituality as a way of life and kind of see divinity in all aspects of our life.
Yes.
But I feel that it has actually disconnected with the regular work now, or find it difficult to connect with outside world. I think it's more like I've become in a bubble or in that boundaries within myself. And I feel like it's very difficult to kind of interact with people or
You don't have to interact with everybody. Spiritual seekers should be a little careful about. You shouldn't say that I have to interact with everybody A to Z in the world. No, you interact with those you need to interact in the job, in the family. There are also some particularly troublesome people are there. You have to be careful about your interaction. Don't push yourself. Yes, but don't isolate yourself also. And even not. If you have a job, if you're living in the family circumstance, you will not be isolated. That much company you're getting is more than enough. Don't try to increase company beyond that. But have I understood your question?
but I find it difficult to find a work opportunity that actually aligns with my values or something that
Yes, you may have to compromise a little bit. But nowadays, you're into sustainability. This is going to be, this area is going to be very important for decades now, if not centuries. You will keep looking, you will find something. Sustainability, especially India, as we are growing, pollution is also growing, lack of sustainability, there are huge opportunities for doing something. I don't know how to, maybe a consultant can help you. You know better your field. But this field has tremendous potential.
But I always integrate sustainability with something that we did traditionally as well.
Yes.
Right now, globally, it's become like a buzzword.
Yes,
but for
buzzword.
me, it was more like a way of living. I didn't even know the word sustainability. But
Then you have to take up, I don't know, if I were in your place, I would take up a job which is available to me and then try to introduce my ideas into it. And at some point, if that's impossible, once you've got enough confidence and you've got a record for yourself, strike out on your own. There will always be people who will be interested in what you are saying. And more in the years ahead.
You can make a choice. See, once what really drives us ultimately, to what you need for yourself. Because there you can draw a line. You can go to any field, any job, where the basic these necessities met. Your internal spiritual dimension of life which is driving you, where that is made. So it's such a job. You can change stream. You need not be even in sustainability also. The thing is, you take it up, that may take you longer time. But right now, you feel compelled. I have to change track because that to protect that is more important. Definitely, if you opt for something lesser, there are people who have done like that. They've given a huge, something like $100,000 jobs to something much less because they felt that that's more important. What is really driving you? What's the central concern of your right now? Make a choice accordingly. That boldness, that courage.
Pranam Swamiji.
My question is a follow-up to your talks on Katho. I actually want to know that what is the seeker, uh, how should he refrain or frame his spiritual goal with respect to enlightenment? Because what happens is you are speaking about Karma Yoga, you are speaking about active life, and then you see the ultimate goal is something like very remote, or as you said, locking in a prison, a kind of prison of samadhi. So, what happens after an ultimate samadhi or ultimate enlightenment? In other words, where is Vivekananda right now?
You asked so many questions. What's your name?
Myself, Somitra.
Somendra.
Somitra.
Okay, Somendra. Yeah, they say spiritual life, you not only have to go away, you have to come back also. You go away from your regular routine, but come back into your regular routine. Go away from your home into a retreat here and go back to your home and job. Go away from Delhi into Himalayas and come back to Delhi again. Spirituality, which is possible only in some ashram, some hill, in some restricted life, that is not very effective spirituality. It should be possible in day-to-day life. Look at where Krishna taught spirituality, the worst place, battlefield. The battlefield is the worst, that's why it's set in the battlefield, Gita. What is the worst thing that human being can do? Killing. War. In the middle of that, if there can be spiritual, we can be spiritual here also. So practicality is being spiritual where you are. But also practicality is once in a while you have to cut away a little bit. Some part of the day only for yourself, nobody else. With eyes closed. Samadhi. Don't be disturbed by others. You must have your own place also. Maybe if not a room, at least one corner. I've seen one gentleman in America. Above the bed he has put pictures. And so when he gets up from bed, it's very small room. He turns around, sits there, that is his time. Like it's one corner of yours, one part of your day, some part of the week or month where you go to an ashram or mandir or somewhere. So like this, you must go away and then come back into life, into job, study, personal life, relationships, and bring that. Thank you so much. We don't have time actually, we have to wrap it up. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Manaji, for enlightening us with your wisdom and guiding us. So now I would request Reverend Swami Shantatmanandaji to tell us about the initiatives that we implement from the Vivekananda Institute of Values, Ramakrishna Mission Gurugram, particularly for youth. So we have certain interesting programs for you. So Maharaji, please tell us about that.
So after such a enlightening session, it's very difficult even to interact, come down and see. The point is, we really are all such as now. We heard something quite new, very powerful, very effective, very logical. All your questions have been answered. Now, how to sustain it? We can't wait. Maharaj will come next year and again inspire you. He won't come next year and inspire you. But in between, what will you do? So, what we do is we run a youth forum called Youth Connect. Every week, every Sunday, between 3 to 4, 4:30 timings, you can change also if you want. Where we run a session completely for youth. We have a team of people. I also come there. Where now we discuss thoroughly issues related to youth, their daily life, their social life, their job, their other problems. And also, as I said in the beginning, how you can envision yourself in a larger spectrum, larger goal, larger idea of life, all that. And you themselves, they do a lot of presentations. They can present, they can discuss. So it's a highly participative kind of a forum. I can assure you, if you come consistently, the point is, as Maharaj very beautifully said, habit. Unless you do it consistently, supposing say 100 rupees. 100 rupees is nothing. But if you save 100 rupees every day, what happens in 1 year? Like, so if you want to really sustain this effect, if you're really interested in improving your life, You must take up something which you do consistently at definite intervals. So supposing you say you come every week. Now during the week, what you discuss on Sunday, during the week you will again go through, exchange, meet others who are in the forum. That's why how you can ultimately create a wonderful force, a wonderful ambience, something very special and unique, not only for yourself, you can do something unbelievably great about the society, about the nation. Some great issues can be taken up, discussed, solved. Everything is possible. But we have to see really, are you truly interested in all the issues that you discussed or not? You will know when you really come back. See, it all, see, everything requires effort. Sometimes somewhere, the people were completely, they are totally away from Calcutta, some other place they might have come. We'll have the simultaneity with the online also. So we are also in touch with them. But if you are very serious, if you are interested, unless you take it up that way, any amount of words, all these effect in the next 3-4 days, they will go away, obviously. Something as establishing is a very beautiful example. The water of the lake. So when you take it in your hand, it's very beautiful, pure, it's like crystal clear. Beads come and come in that completely, it's covered. Like that, if you want to sustain it, of course, obviously, we may not be discussing at the same great level as he did it because he's really truly a great teacher that way. But we will take up Swamiji's original work, some book, either Karma Yoga, all these letters, something like that. A little, half an hour, 45 minutes, 1 hour every day. You will not imagine the amount of transformation it will bring about in your life. I only say that you just try 6 months. If you really don't feel that, you come and tell me, Swamiji, you cheated us, we don't want to be part of it. But 6 months you must come. It should be that unless there are exceptional circumstances, you should not stay. See, everything, everything strength. I always give this example, in particular those who are from West Bengal, you would know that in every pond, it's always a small stone. People they finish their bath, just rub their feet and come out. It's almost a ritual. Most everybody performs. The stone is so smooth, like a diamond, cut diamond. I said, did it happen in one day? Suppose you go and rub your feet on a stone in the street, what will happen? You simply bleed to death, like. But here, people don't even look at it. Just spontaneously they rub and go away. So like that, what years it has happened. So many thousands of people have rubbed their feet with water. So it has become so smooth. So your mind, your personality, it all become like that. If you do it consistently, regularly. See, it's like one of the great Swami said on the Sadhu culture, is what's called this Bhandara. They have very huge, heavy, so many items. No, no, no. Let us improve the daily standard. What is this Bhandara? It will spoil your stomach. So every day, at some intervals, weekly, whatever, if you do it in a sustained and continuous way, 6 months you'll find amazing change in the way you think, the way you react. What all he said, how you know, let a small little improvement in every segment. What all I can do, all that would happen. Only thing is you must do it. Apart from that, you have many wonderful books of Swami Vivekananda. His letters are extraordinary. His lectures on Karma Yoga. From these ashrama, from Delhi ashrama, we brought out a book called The Awakening India. The book will be given to all of you. Please go through it carefully and discuss. So every day, make it a habit to stay connected with Swami Vivekananda in some way or other. Say 20 minutes, 15 minutes, read his lectures. See, it is, I'm not telling this at all from the perspective he is a religious leader and he belongs to this organization. No. He's an universal personality. He'll inspire everybody. Whatever be your field, whatever you want to do, even if you want to be a politician, you will inspire. But every day, 15 to 20 minutes, Lord, for study of Vivekananda, please do stay connected with us to this Youth Connect. We'll honestly examine. In the foreign can really ask, what are we doing? Are we going? Are we getting anything out of it? So critically you can examine, participate in it. I'm sure all of you will be immensely benefited, and we'll also feel that the idea of setting up a huge institution, it is named Vivekananda Institute of Values, completely dedicated to the ideas which Swami Vivekananda stood for. We also feel greatly justified that so much, it's all come from public contribution. We feel that our work is rewarded that way. It is really nice. Thank you.
So I'm sure that today we will go home with a lot of wisdom to dwell on and ideas, work upon and act upon for a brighter future. So thank you all for your wonderful participation, and we would love to see you all again soon in our events with Swamiji and other eminent personalities. Thank you so much for coming. And before you all leave, we have some announcements to make. So for those of us, who want to know further about our initiatives and want some guidance in life, etc., and maybe particularly on some subject, we have Dr. Anuradha Balram. She is the Chief Coordinator of our Vivekananda Institute of Values, all the value education initiatives. She will be there for you, so you can go meet her, speak with her on second floor in the corporate room. She will be waiting for you there. So anything still left, she is there. And as Maharaj already told, you will be given a beautiful book called Awakening India, along with the Youth Connect pamphlet. All the information will be there in that pamphlet, right? And third thing is the lunch packets are available. They have come, so they will be given to you at that very place where you had tea today. Okay, it's just outside the reception gate, just near the registration desk, right? Just there only you will have the lunch packets given to you. So for any other doubt, we will have our volunteers here. They will assist you. These are the two gates from which you can exit. So I would request the last rows to please. Just one more now.
Just wait for a few minutes. We'll leave and then. एक रिक्वेस्ट जैसे सर हम जैसे उत्तर और पश्चिम राजस्थान में मैं खुद राजस्थान से आया हूँ हिंदी में आप बहुत बहुत प्यारे बोलते हो तो यूट्यूब पे या फिर ऑनलाइन ऐसा कुछ करिए कि हिंदी में भी मौका नहीं मिले क्योंकि हम जहाँ हैं वो तो वो इंग्लिश नहीं जाते हैं एक दो जगह हिंदी में बोले इसको रिसेंटली भोपाल में बुलाए थे तो वहाँ पर हम 3 भाषा हिंदी में मेरा भी प्रैक्टिस हो जाता है बहुत प्यारे बोलते हो हिंदी में इसलिए हमें भी अच्छा लगता है अरे बहुत प्यारा सा तो इसीलिए प्यारा बोलते हैं